Okay, guys, welcome to this live workshop. So really good to see you all dropping in. We are streaming to Facebook as well. That's streaming away. We've got Anne in on Facebook and we have loads of people. So do you want to put where you're from? And if you played around with the feature, this is the branching funnel. So like your survey, it's now got survey funnels inside of marketing funnels. You can run surveys in marketing funnels. And we've added a new feature of being able to branch as well. So guys, have you had a play around with it? Where are you from? Played around a bit. Milani, Yvonne, Essex, Sweden, played a bit. Francis played a bit with it. Good morning, Thomasina. Right, so I have Kevin with us now. Kevin can unmute his camera. He's here. He's going to be looking after things and kind of talking through things as we talk as well. We want it to be, rather than me just do a presentation, Kevin's going to have input as well, and he's going to say things along the way. So that's good. Right, so what we're going to do, guys, this is a massive new feature. Now, if you guys didn't know, it's actually 4 features in one, right? Because not only can you now put surveys into a marketing funnel, but you can also turn them into branching funnels as well. Okay, branching surveys in a marketing funnel. Not only that, so that's 2. So the third one is you've now got branching ability in your surveys in courses, if you didn't know, and quizzes. Yeah, that's not been mentioned about much, but you can actually branch a quiz now. So you have all these extra options. So it's actually a 4-in-1 major release. I'd go so far as to say major, wouldn't you, Kevin?
Yeah, definitely. It levels a lot of stuff up, and what's interesting will be to see how many people are going to go back and edit stuff. So if they've got quizzes already running, or surveys already running, you need to go back and update because you've got so much more functionality.
Yeah, that's for sure. So if you've already got surveys, you might want to adapt it to take it. And what we're going to do is we're basically going to talk about one of the most important things with branching surveys. Can you guys guess what it is? Have a little guess. What's the most important thing when you're doing your branching surveys? One word. Hi, Tracy. No. Okay. So Milani was straight in there. Planning. It's all about planning. Kevin mentioned it on office hours. If you don't plan this stuff, if you just go head first into creating a branching survey or quiz, you're going to have problems because it can get complicated really, really quick. So what we're going to want you to do today is we're going to want you to generate a very simple branching survey. And it's going to be basically a question to come into it and then 2 routes out. So 2 routes out, and then it's going to give a result page, and you're also going to be able to set up an email to go with that. That's all we want. If you guys want to get a little bit more complicated with it, you can, but don't make it too complicated. Okay, so we're going to keep it really, really simple, because what I feel is that if you start with something very simple and you understand it, then you can start to add more to it as you move through. And this is a really important aspect of it. So I'm going to do a little slide share here. So I'm going to just turn on. Here we go. So, right. So I'm going to share my screen now, and I'm going to take you through a little. I've got some freebies for you today as well, guys. So you're going to be happy about this. We've got some cover image sizes. You've got a little simple branch that you can use. So I'm going to throw up the first panel, and we can look. So here we go, surveys, funnels, and branching. Let's get into this. So what are they? So this is a big thing. So what are branching funnels? So you guys that don't know, if any of you don't know what this is, a branching survey, also known as a conditional survey, or it's also known as a skip logic survey, is a type of survey that uses rules to direct respondents down different paths based on their answers to specific questions. So it tailors the survey experience in real time, making the questions more relevant to each respondent. This dynamic approach allows for more personalized and efficient survey process. Now, before, what we had was what was called a linear survey. So it's just one question after another in a linear sequence. Same for quizzes. So this way, it allows us to break out of that and actually branch to create separate linear approaches, if you like. So imagine imagine the possibilities of this, and we'll talk about this later. And Kevin's going to chime in on this as well. But there's so many possibilities with what you can do with this, and we'll look at those as well. I don't want to blow your mind too much because it does get complicated. So, how it works. Initial question. Respondents begin by answering general questions. Branching logic based on their responses, the survey automatically directs them to different follow-up questions. For example, if someone answers yes to a question about owning a pet, they might then be asked more specific questions about pet ownership. If they answer no, they might be directed to a different set of questions. Okay, so it's branching. Are you clear? We have to start from the very basic before we start to look at what you need to do. Scott's good, clear, Carol's good. So we're just branching. That's all it is, really. And customized pathways. This process continues throughout the survey where each answer can potentially lead to a different set of questions or skip irrelevant ones. All right. Yeah, I know, Tracy, it's a little bit overwhelming, but if we simplify it down and we build on it, it's going to be easy. Imagine the basic question: do you own a cat or dog? And someone answers dog and they're taken to dog. And then there's a series of questions about dogs. If they answer cat, there's a series of questions about cats. Okay, that's as simple as it can get. And then it gives a result page, what their final result, like a CTA page or a sales page, if you like. And you can also then target those people via email as well. So it's very targetable as well. This is a really good thing. So the benefits of this: increased engagement. Okay, I'm not going to go into this. By showing respondents only relevant questions, the survey feels more personalized and relevant, leading to better engagement. Do you want to chime in here, Kevin? Chime in whenever you like.
Yeah, I think the key to this is, and the easiest way to really understand it, and I think we've all been on these types of surveys before, where they come in and they ask you a question and they go, are you a night person or a day person? And you click day, and then they go, so what do you do at night that you really enjoy? And it's like, it becomes completely irrelevant to the answer that you've given. It's like nobody's listening. It's like you're talking to someone and they've got they're going la 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 la. I'm going to talk to you and tell you what I want anyway, right? And they're the old types of linear ones where you set a, doesn't matter what they say, you're setting the questions and they're going to follow the questions A B C D E, right? And what makes this so great, and this is why I'm really excited about this, is it's actually listening to people going, right, I'm going to ask you if you're a day or night person, right, I'm a day person. And then it will take you down, right, great, you're a day person. And you can actually put that in the next bit. Great, you're a day person. What is it you like most about days? Are you mornings or afternoons? Oh, mornings, right, brilliant. You're a morning person. So am I. And you can really make it so they feel, for me, it's about feeling heard. That's what it's about for the people coming into this. It's feeling heard, and you have to work out what that means to them and how that works for your goal and objective of it. So yeah, this is I'm so I can't tell you I'm so excited about this. I'm almost as excited about this as I am the blogs when they came out.
Yeah.
Because to me, the old way of doing it was I'm just going to talk at you, old fashioned marketing, linear, right? I'm marketing, I'm talking at you, and you will just follow whatever I do anyway, and the result will be the same for everyone, right? Because that's the result I want you to have. And if you drop off, I don't care, right? That's the old way. This is the new way where even if people, it's not appropriate for them and it doesn't fit what you're looking for, you can still be polite to people and still give them something to think about or something to do. Even if that's a great, you've got your whole life sorted out, right? You don't need to learn how to knit this jumper because you know how to do it. You're a superb expert in it. But have you considered looking at knitting a pair of socks? If you have, why don't you go and have a look over here? So you're not,
Yeah.
it's very unoffensive, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think as well, Kevin, you touched on a really good point that I actually haven't put in this presentation. This is why I love working with Kevin, because when Kevin's talking about things, it brings other things in as well. It's a really good thing, and that is the tone. Like you have a question, great, you love days, you're actually giving some tone. You're actually I think building a connection with your audience as well. This is a much better way to build a connection. Imagine, like, guys, you sending emails out to warm people up and you're trying to build that connection with people. Imagine this is like instant connection because people are telling you what they like and you're excited to them. So that is another really good point that you brought up there, Kevin, for sure. So the last one on the benefits is time efficiency. Since unnecessary questions are skipped, respondents spend less time completing the survey. So that's really good because you might have 50 questions, but actually only one of them or two of them apply to that person. And if the person goes, oh no to that, and then they've got to go through in that linear format, like 49 questions, they're going to be pretty peeved off at the end. So this is a really good way to streamline exactly the info that you want from them and the info that they want to give as well. So I think that is a key one as well, time efficiency. And for time efficiency, if any of you guys remember doing the marketing funnel where I showed branching, I know Tracy does. I showed how to branch using the old way, and it's good, it works, but it takes so long. You've got to set buttons up, you've got to go here, you've got to go here. So now this takes care of all that, and it means that you can jump between questions when you get really, once you plan things out, you can get really complex with this. We don't want to get complex today, right? We don't want to do that.
Right. The
So
time one's really important for me. One of the things that attracted me into Zenler in the first place when I first joined was how fast I could load a course up. Because for me, time is the single most important currency we have in our life because we never get it back. We can't buy more time, right? It's money you can earn, you earn it, you lose it, you spend it, whatever, but time you never get back. So efficiency, and this is why we're so super focused on these workshops, because we don't want to waste people's time. You'll walk off this workshop being able to put together one of these survey funnels and it work for your business, right? That's our goal for this. Everything that we do has a thing that you can go off and do. Really, really important. So you don't waste your time. We could sit here and go blah 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 blah, and it's all lovely and fluffy, and we all feel great afterwards. But actually, what have I gained by being there for 3 hours with that team? Right? If I can't implement something and make my stuff better, then I feel we've not really done a great job. So time for me, that's a massive one on this. Saving not only your time, right, but also their time. So and that's really important to point out.
yeah, time efficiency is key here. So we will be showing you best practices, and this is going to save you a lot of time, okay, going forward. You're not going to have to worry too much. We're going to give you templates on other images. We're going to show you proper sizes to use. We're going to tell you the options and how to duplicate questions quickly from any questions that you've created. So all of these things are with a mind to efficiency. So what we do is we plan, we build, and then we can make it look pretty out, and then we can test it. That's basically the 4 steps that we're going to go through today. So this is a really simple example, and this is the kind of example here that I want you guys to do. Now I'm going to be giving you some prompts for ChatGPT as well. I'm going to give you a prompt that you can use. Kevin will like that. He hasn't seen this prompt, right? But he will like it, and he'll know why later. So if we look at this example, imagine you're conducting a survey on health habits. So you ask question 1, do you exercise regularly? Yes, you go to question 2, what type of exercises? But if you answer no, you're going to jump down to question 4. If no to exercising, a question like, would you be interested in starting an exercise routine could follow. You see what I mean? But if you go to, I am interested, ask you what type of exercise you do, how often a week, how many minutes you want to spend doing it, and you can really tailor it. So this is the kind of thing that we want you to do, something very simple like this, and then you can follow it through. So I'm going to be going quite quick when I do the build, and I don't expect you guys to keep up, but I do watch the replay, keep up, and then pause the replay and then work your way through it, and it'll be simple then. And we're going to go through some examples as well, so I can show you different things that you've got in there. So let's move on. Right, so this is probably scaring some of you. Is this scaring some of you? This is basically a flow chart, right? It's an in and out. It's just out points, right? They're called pipes, and there's inputs and outputs. So what we have to start with, but yeah, mind mapping. So if you do mind mapping, you can write this down on a bit of paper. You know, the one that I had here, this is just down on a bit of paper. You can do that. You don't have to do these elaborate things. So this is the one we're going to carry on from a little bit more. This is actually that, okay, but this is in a flow. So it's up to you which choice you want to go for. But let's have a look at this example. So you've got welcome, do you exercise regularly? Yes. Then they go to what type of exercise do you do, cardio or strength? Both of these answers still lead in a linear way to the next question, which is like how often do you exercise per week? 1, 3, or 4? And you can expand on that. But based off of that, it then goes to a result page, and an email can fire out specifically for people that have chosen yes. So the other option is no, and it says, would you be interested? Yes. You can send them an email. You could actually, this is where it differs a little bit, because this answer, yes, they would be interesting, might relate to this email. So you might want to use the result of 1, even though it's on the result of 4, question 4. So you might want to do that down there, or you might want to tailor a specific email to them on that result there. Okay. And of course, no goes to another email, result page and email. Because remember, the end point here is when they reach the end of the survey, they hit a page that's tailored for them on their decisions they come through. And then you can also fire an email based on that result to them as well. So that will be clear as we move forwards as well. So is that all clear? Do you understand all that stuff? You do? You do? You're all good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. That's good. Right, so we haven't lost you yet.
We're only 20 minutes in. I hope we haven't lost anyone yet.
Well, it's always a little worrying because you don't know. But what I've got now is I've got a little Canva template here. So this is like a little branch. You can see cats goes through here, and then you've got dogs. So we're going to want you to do something like this. I'm going to share this template with you. I'll just do it as a template link, and you guys can use this if you want to, or you can just write it out. Okay, and if you just want to write it out, then you can do that. So I'm going to put that into the chat so you guys can grab that if you want. And I think, Kevin, you mentioned that there's actually ones in Canva that you can actually click and load.
Yeah, there's loads of templates in Canva. I would say just pick one that catches your eye, that you go, yeah, I get it. I look at it and it makes sense for you. Some people don't like plain black and white. Some people prefer black and white. Some people, like the previous example, like the different colours, because it helps them just navigate through. They can make a little key and whatnot. But there's loads of them on there. And there's, if you just go log into Canva and just do in the search bar, just do survey funnel or something like that, it will come up with loads of options.
Yeah, so you got those options, and you can also see we're in here, this Canva template that I've just shared with you. You can actually take this and you can grab parts of this. So you can use the shift key to select both of these, hold alt and drag it, and you can create another box. And then you could take this, you could duplicate it out, and then you could push that into position on here to be the next flow. You see, so you can build it up like that using that. So that's what we want you to do. We want you to go through and we want you to do that, lay out your plan, but don't make it too complicated, right? Make it for your business. So think what you're doing maybe now in a survey. Are any of you already using a survey? I know Tracy is. Are any of you not? I should ask the question, any of you not using surveys at the moment? And this is all brand new to you. Not yet. Nikki's not yet. New, not yet. Okay, good. So you can using surveys in different programs. However, would like Zenler. Yeah, it's very easy in Zenler. Lisa, new to me, using Google Forms. John, yeah. So you can yeah, so build this up, make this work for you. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some examples. And then after the break, we're going to, because I'm going to give you half an hour, we're going to pause this for half an hour. You can create this, and then afterwards you can carry on. So, but I don't know if you can tell, but my throat's a little bit bad. Also, Kevin's feeling a bit bad as well. So we both got this kind of flu bug or something, and so it's quite hard. But I'm going to now jump into the site that we're going to be using, which is our Zen pop-up site. So inside here, let me just screen share here. So this is the site we've got here. And inside here, we have some marketing funnels. So I'm going to show you some marketing funnels that we've built. And then using that logic that we all talked about, the way that it branches, I'm going to be showing you some examples. So inside here, I have some examples. I've got an exercise routine example, and I've got what's your favorite animal example. So Tracy's saying it's pretty late. Catch up. Yeah, catch up in the morning, Tracy. I know Australia, it's late. So this one, your exercise routine survey. So I'm going to click into this one first, and you're going to go into surveys. I'm going to be building this stuff from scratch, so don't worry, just stay with me. I'm going to edit this survey now, and that's going to open up our survey, and I'm going to be showing you the branching. So what we've got in here is we've got a welcome page. Now the welcome page in the marketing funnel surveys are self-contained pages. You can set these up using your traditional page builder. You click this button and it's going to take you into the survey here. So that's that welcome page. You'll also notice that I've got groups. So I can set up, if I've got a group of questions, classic case again, cats and dogs, it can have a group of cat questions, a group of dog questions. And what's good about groups is that those questions can be in there. And if you're leading someone to the group, they can just click next, next, next through that whole group. Okay? You can also, you don't have to use groups. You can do them as single questions, which is what we're going to be doing later. So other than that, like everything is the same as far as the surveys were before, but you have this button up here called branching. And if I click through, I'm going to show you some of the questions. So again, we've got all the different question types here that you can add. There's all of these. You can add any of those to it. You can have this here, descriptions in there. By the way, that description doesn't show front end placeholder, so you can type something in there, okay? Just so you know. And you've got this group here. And then finally, when you get to the bottom of the group, because this is the last question of this group, then you go to opt-in page. So unlike a front end opt-in page, people can start to build they can start to answer these questions. They haven't got to sign up for anything. They just go through these questions, and then after they finish them, they can then opt in, put their name and the email, and you've captured them as leads. Okay. After they put their name and email, it then will send them to a result page. And these result pages are just like the welcome page at the top, self-contained pages that you can build in Page Builder. So if I open this one up, this is a result for page 1 here, and you'll see that this is ready to take the next step. So everything's based off of, if I click this one, no results, you'll see it's a different end page. So it's tailored for them. Not interested. This is the one, no, not interested. So people answered, not interested in training. Okay. This one, people answered, already fit. So it tells you. I put that in there just for you guys to see. I wouldn't normally put that on the page. Now, off of these result pages here, you can send emails out. So we're going to be doing that in the build. But this is just one of them. So to preview this, I can click the preview here. This front page will come up. Remember the welcome page. I click this and it will then take me into the survey. So the survey is set up here. We start this process very simply by building out our questions. I tell you not even to turn branching surveys on until all of the questions are in there, because it makes it easier. So if I click no to yes to that, do you exercise regularly? Click next. It's going to say what sort of exercise do you do, how many times a week. It's going to ask you being a membership, are you interested in starting a monthly routine? And it will give me another option. It will finish at that point. Okay, so that's one that you've seen there, and there's many different types. But let's have a look at the branching in this. So if I go up to here, this is, do you exercise regularly, yes or no? So if they click yes here, they will go to this question: what type of exercise do you do? If they click no, they're going to go to, would you be interested in starting an exercise routine? So let's have a look at the branching for that. If I click the branching here, you're going to see it says next. So yes, there goes to the next one there. I could select it. You're going to see that I select one there and I can see them inside what type of exercises you do. Do you notice it ties up with this? So I can select exactly where it goes. If I leave it as next, it will just jump to the next question in a linear fashion. So question number 4 actually jumps to question 4. This one here. So this question 1, no, goes to question 4. And you can see that I've selected it there. I've gone to group 3. I like groups because they organize things. And then I click that, and then that's in there. And then if we go down, you're going to see this goes to next because it's in here and in here. And finally, if we get down to the bottom, we'll then have results. So would you be interested in starting an exercise routine? Yes, goes to the result page. That is the yes, I do want to. And maybe is no exercise result. So it's a kind of mid-reach, and no is definitely not, don't want to do any of that. So that is that, and that goes to those result page. And then if you capture them on that result page, you can then send an email out. I know it sounds complicated, but it's not once we start building it out. Right? So let's have a look at another one that's a little bit simpler. This is the one that I've got for just your favorite animal. This is really simple, nice, easy one. This is the sort of thing that I want you doing to start with. So if I edit this survey, it's just simple. It's a simple block here. And this is like, pick your favorite: dog, cat, hamster, rabbit, none. And you're going to notice that we have stuff. So we've got in here, tell us why group. So you're going to pick an animal and then you're going to say why you like them. So you're going to go, why do you love dogs? So can you tell what's happening here? Why do you love cats? Why do you love hamsters? Why do you love rabbits? So what sort of branching will happen here? So for instance, where would this one go to? Just in the tell us why group, where would this one go to? Just put the number. Yeah, correct. Easy, isn't it? So you can see it in the branching. You come to branching here. It's a bit easier in here because you can actually see what's going on. You can see I love dogs, I love cats, and you can just go straight in there. And this one that's none actually goes to a not interested result page. It doesn't even go to any other questions. This is exactly what Kevin was talking about earlier. It means they can jump straight to a result page saying you're not interested, thanks for taking part, that's the end. All right. So down here, you can see that the next group, tell us why group, where's that go to? So let's have a look. So dogs, where's that going to go to? Do you want more info? So training group, do you want more info on dogs? It goes to 1. Just like if I do the cat, that's going to go to this one. Cat result. See? So it's easy to work out, but planning is really important. And having one of those little guides up that you can see, these little branching plans like this, makes it easier. Okay, especially when you get more complex with this stuff. So that is what we're going to want you to do. I'm going to now go to show you what's going to happen. So are you guys okay with that? We're going to have like 30 minutes where you can just plan it out for your business. And you can get all that ready and then you can carry on. So you've got, so I'm also going to show you quickly how you can create some of this stuff using AI. So let me show you now. Let me just grab ChatGPT and I'm going to give you a prompt now. And this is going to be my number 1. Yep. So the prompt I have, right? And Kevin, you might want to say something here because this is your question, right? Yeah. So this is the prompt. I'm going to have to make this bigger. I want to show you. I'll put this in the chat. So let me make this much, much bigger. Okay, can you see that, guys? You right? That's big enough. So what I've got here is I've got a prompt, and I've got a prompt that you can adapt. So give me an easy to read branching funnel that gives 3 result requirements. Each result has a link. Branches and questions should be based off of the title. Okay? Title, yeah. Okay. Telling it information before it starts. It should be based off the result here, and the link is here. So you can set your link up for each of the final results. As the reference for the questions, display where the branches go in the survey. This is just basically to make it easier for us to read. So we also want to tell ChatGPT what type of questions Zenler gives. And I've put them in here to save you the effort. But what we have here, and this is where you might want to chime in, Kevin, is we have how to bathe a psychotic cat. So if you know, Kevin uses this all the time. So I thought I'd set this one up as this. So this is what we've got. We've got the title, develop a relationship with your cat. So you might be asking people like, are they interested in training cat litter training, how to bathe a psychotic cat, creating the correct environment for your cat. And then afterwards, it says, give me the text for each result and advantages why this is the correct result. Okay. So follow this with 3 emails that include the information only from the resulting branch. Remember, we set the resulting branch. These are the results. That's the result. That's result 1, result 2, result 3. Send me 3 emails from the resulting branch. Okay. And you can follow on. You can set a follow on prompt if you want it to create more questions. So let's run this now and see what it gives us in ChatGPT. Now, you know, ChatGPT, it is AI, it could do anything, but this should work. So if I click this now, what we're going to get is we should get the whole lot done for us. Now, don't just take what ChatGPT does, please. You know, just make it your own. So it's straight away giving us what we're getting here, branching structure. So it's saying here, question 1, do you feel like your cat avoids or ignores you most of the time? So if you click yes, it'll go to question 2. And then peeing outside, hissing, scratching when touched, or hiding. So result 2, I think, is going to be bathing psychotic cat. So go to result 2. So you're going to go to result 2, which is an email that's going to go out to them. And if I go down here, how to bathe a psychotic cat, it's taken them straight on that journey without having to answer the rest of the questions in there. Now, it hasn't given us many choices. So this is why I did that follow on, which is do more questions. So I just take that copy down here, and you can just tell it to. So you can say, have 10. This is going to be too many, but 10 questions. Now, sometimes ChatGPT, because this isn't paid, it will stop it after 5, and you can tell continue, and it will continue it. So it's now given us more. It's given us all the questions with the branches. Okay. So that little text, that's also a fill in the blanks as well. So you've got free text in there where people can write their content. So it's using lots of the aspects of the survey question types. So I think that will be really good for you, but maybe try it without ChatGPT first. But I'll put this prompt into the chat so you guys can grab it if you want to use it. So remember, if you want more questions, you just click in there. So that'll be a little prompt that you can choose. Again, you know, you might want to change it slightly, make it adapt it for you. That will work. I hope this is going to all fit in here. Oh yeah, it does. There you go. So you can see I've put a link in there. So if I set a page up, that goes to a page. So I could have that links, like link 1, 2, and 3. I could have those going to different courses. So if I had a course on litter training for cats, I could send them there. I could put that link in. If I had one on bathing a psychotic cat, I could put that link in there, and then it will add it into the email. So you'll have it already in there, and then you can just basically copy and paste. It's as simple as that. So that is really good. Okay, are you all okay with that? Do you all understand it? Yes, got one yes. Oh, that's good. You want to throw anything into this, Kevin?
No, I think it's quite clear at the moment. I wouldn't add in. I wouldn't get it today. I wouldn't go as far as doing 10 questions because I think it's going to really overcomplicate everything for you. I think maybe stick to three.
Yeah,
And then that's you just get the first one done because once you've got your head round the first one and it's done and it's finished and you know how it works and you've played with it, then you can start to go, okay, well, actually, I want to go a bit deeper into this. What can I add into it? Right. But get the basics of one together first because I know a lot of you do love to overcomplicate stuff. And Patricia, I know you sent me that link to the one that you did, which is really, really good, but there's like 30 questions on there and there's a lot going on. Um, so simple to begin with. And it's like anything, get more confident with it and really embed that into your mind, how it works. And then you can start expanding, right? Because these are all editable afterwards. They're not, you can go in and add on to these things. So don't
yeah,
worry too much about that. It's not oh, I've created it, I can never touch it again. Well, you can. So
yeah,
don't panic about that too much. The thing is, if you go in too much too quick, and then we get to the testing phase and it keeps not working because you're missing some critical parts, it's going to be really frustrating, and then you're just not going to use it, and you're going to go, oh, it's just too, it's not worth the trouble, right? So take our word for it. Start with three questions, and then once that's built, working, tested, you've been through every different combination. Maybe you'll even use it on some of the people that are your students to get them to test it for you. Then you can start looking at, okay, now that works. Let me do the next one, which is got maybe 5 or 6 questions in.
yeah, and that's going to be the best route because we want to keep it simple. So yeah, what we're going to do building is we're going to build. It's not massively complicated, but it is complicated. So my figure is you'll want to watch what I'm doing, how I'm building it, and then from what I've shown you, because the version I'm doing is more complicated. This stuff that you set up now, if you follow what Kevin said, do 3 or 5 questions, then it's going to be really easy for you. So it's more important you understand what I'm doing, but not necessarily you have to do it. For you, you just want to set something out really easy. Do you remember right at the beginning we just said, "What do you like, cats or dogs?" And then send what people with a set of questions for cats, set of questions for dogs. That's what we need from you. So don't try interlinking, crossing, branching across. Don't do that at this stage. Just get some, especially if it's the first time you've done it, right? So just keep it as simple as possible. Build on it. Of course, if you want to make it more complicated, you can, but you're going to spend more time. And what we're trying to do here is get you to do results really quickly and just build on your knowledge if you haven't done this stuff before.
And if you've got loads of questions, you're not going to get it done in half an hour.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be
So
easy.
maybe what we can do when we send them off, David, um, if you do it, how many of you just put in the chat? How many of you are going to go and do this in Canva right now when we send you off? How many of you are going to do it in Canva? Just
Okay,
put a
but yeah,
yes if you
oh,
are.
that's good. Yeah, I prefer it in a way that you do it actually manually because it's not a big job. We want something very simple. Just think what's going to work with your audience.
Right.
I've
So
just shown you the prompt because it's good to know. Carol Cross has gone no. So there's lots of ways. You might want to get a pen and paper and just sketch it out with a pen and paper. That's fine. I like to do everything digitally, and I'll tell you why, because I can just copy and paste straight into the questions. You're going to see me doing that later when we get to a more complicated one.
right, loads of them are going to do it on Canva when we go for a
Good.
break. So when you do your Canva template and you've put your details in there and you come back in here, share that link with us to it so we can then have a look as to what you've done. How's that sound?
It's a good one.
Yeah. So, because you're not going to be able to come on screen just yet, but yeah, go and we're on Canva, share when you've done it, just do the share link, get a link, pop that in the chat when you come back, and then we can click it and go and have a look at what you've done. And then if there's any glaring mistakes, we can find out there and then.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. And I know a question came in. Can we do this? Can we set up the things like use AI for the like we can for the quizzes? but not at the moment, not in branching. So you can't do it in the Zenler platform. But, you know, I think, you know, you've got tools like ChatGPT and you've got your own minds of the questions you want to ask. I think you want to do it manually anyway, personally. I never would use the course outliner inside Zenler. I just wouldn't let it do it because I know what I want to give and I don't want it to direct me. So, guys, we're going to be back in half an hour, okay? And I'm going to have a tea with some lemon. Probably Kevin's going to do the same. We'll be back with you. So I've got a little clock timer going, so you'll see when it hits half an hour and we'll be back, okay?
Probably have a whiskey.
So, a whiskey. So I won't finish this if I have a whiskey.
This afternoon's going to be car crash, I tell you. It's going to be absolute carnage if we're both sitting there sipping whiskey for half an hour.
Yeah, it will be sacked on Monday. All right, so guys, gonna leave it with you. We'll be back in 30 minutes. Okay, so do this, get this done. We'll achieve something today, and then we can go. Yeah, make hot whiskey. Okay, right. We're gonna half an hour. I'm gonna put the stop clock on. You're gonna see it in a second, and we'll be back as soon as it hits the 30. Hey guys, so how are you doing? You're probably working away, and then you hear a load of noise from me to get your attention. So we're back. So how have you done? This is the question. Still work, Tracy, still working. That's all right. Did you overcomplicate it? And then you thought, oh, I've overcomplicated it. So we've got some Canva links going in.
Got a Canva link. Nice.
That's good. Yeah. I tell you what would be really good. Also, if you output it as an image, your funnels, and you put it into the Facebook group to tell people how you're doing, what you're going to do with the funnels, that would be really good. We also want you to do your final. We want you to actually put your funnel URL, a screenshot of your funnel at the end as well. So we'll talk about that. It's easy to get overcomplicated. I know, John. Yeah, it is. Right. Okay. Jen has noticed I've got a new shirt on. Yes, I have. Okay, you're going to be getting some swag, Jen. So send me a. She was the first. We're going to do
Nikki's
these.
done a great job.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Oh, well, Scott's put an image in there. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's nice. That's, yeah, keeping it free pass on there. That's really good. Yeah. So, Jen, send an email to me, david@zenler.com. Okay, and I'll sort that out for you. The little test. We do these things sometimes. So, yeah, also a new background. You know, it's a new background. No,
I changed
no
my, I
one's.
changed my trousers. Nobody picked up on that, did they? No. Come on. I didn't really.
Right. So lovely. All right. So remember, Jen, to send an email to me and we'll send some swag to you. Okay. Little impromptu comp there. I didn't think anyone would notice. Sometimes people don't notice at all. Right. Okay. So you guys have got your nice simple plan. You've put in there. Nikki's done. Oh, is that? Oh, that's quite, looks quite, that's not too bad. You got an output going there and there. So that's good. A little bit more complicated, but if it suits your needs and you're happy to go with that route, then what we're going to show you, you should easily be able to accomplish it. So nice one, Nikki. That's a little bit more complex. Be careful because, like Kevin said, you complicate these things, you can run into trouble, you know. So we're going to move on. We're going to hit this and we're going to start the build. So I'm going to take you through another Canva template I've got here. We're going to be giving you some bits as well. Right, so what we're doing, we've done the planning stage. We're now going to do the building stage. As part of the building stage, we're also going to tell you about the features, okay? So after we built it in its basic format, we're going to turn on the branching. After we turn the branching on, we're then going to test it. So we're going to go through and just test it. And at the end, then you guys with your own funnels should test by sending an email out to yourself as well, and making sure you're getting all of the results. By the way, this is a brand new feature. So if you find any bugs or anything with it as you're working through, there shouldn't be, I've been knee deep in this, then you need to send it to support@zenler.com. So if there's anything not working, okay, then you need to, maybe if it's a linking thing, maybe you didn't understand and something's wrong on the result page, then you might want to put it as education. But if you think, no, I definitely got it right and it's not working, I'm not getting something, you know, an email or something like that, then you need to talk to support, okay? So they are still tweaking bits to this as well. They're refining it, because every time I go in there, like me and Kevin, what me and Kevin do is we act on your behalf. So if we find something that we think, actually, do you know what, users would benefit from that, then we tell the CEO and he tells Dev to put it in. Okay, so we actively do that all the time. Your feedback on this would be good as well. So we'll talk about that. Okay, let's get on with it because I'm just waffling. Okay, so Zen pop up. Just get all. Is there anything going on the Facebook group, Kevin?
I shall go and have a look.
I haven't. I'm doing this, so it's. Maybe people might be asking for the Zoom link to drop in. I haven't registered. If you guys have registered, it's really good because you're going to get the replay links and we'll put all of the. I know someone was asking, have you got the Canva link? Someone came in late. If you've registered, then you're going to get those in the replay page. Okay, so it'll all be in there. We chapter mark stuff as well. I put it on YouTube. We chapter mark it so you can jump to areas. If you covered this bit, you don't want to watch it again. So let's jump into this part. So let me just out of here because we've got a brand new one. Exciting. Okay, right. Share my screen. Show it. Good, we're all set. All right. Already, are you excited? We're going to do the live build part now. This is where we get into it and you see all of the little extra things that you can add, and you're following a really good method for creating your surveys. The same method that I'm using here can be applied to your surveys inside courses or even the quizzes, right? So the same methodology that we're using, plan, yeah, and then it's that build, basic build, is then make it look pretty or test it. So sometimes I don't make it look pretty until I've tested it all. So it's up to you with those last two ones. And that's the build. So that's our 4 steps for success with this. Know that. It's all good. Right. Tracy. Oh, whoa. What have you done, Tracy? That looks ultra complicated. No wonder you just finished. But not really. Okay, you know. Right. Okay. So let's jump to this. So this is our Canva template. So I want to move on through this, and this is going to look complicated. Now this is a fairly big build. All right. So I did a branching survey that had these. So I just want to show it to you first so you can sort of see what's going, because I'm not going to be using groups in this one. So I just want you to understand it. So this was a one that I did to analyze the exact training you need based on goals and available time. So it was response, I am ready, question 1, which is there, and no, I'm scared to face this. And then it goes to, we can help you, result. So it sent an email straight out. And I think I showed you that before, but you can see that I've used groups here. So this is what I was saying in the one I'm going to build for you. I'm not really going to use groups, but grouping, I'll show you how to do it. But grouping means that you can group questions in and they become very clear when you're selecting them in the branch. So it's something for you to be aware of. So let's move forward through this and look at what we're going to build. So plan, build out, add branches, design, test. Okay, that's our that's 5 steps. 4 and 4, design and test. They're kind of both together in a way. So you can do one or the other first. It doesn't really matter. So this is what I've got in here. So it's a different way of doing how it looks. Okay, it's a little bit different. So what I've got in here is a question. So we're going to build a community survey. So question 1, have you used Zenler's community feature yet? You've got the option of yes and no. So you can proceed to question. If you click yes, proceed to question 2, and then it asks you, and so on. And this one goes to question 3. So if no, what prevented you from using it? So very personalized. If yes, if no, you know. On the right hand side here, we have a lovely graphic, just a different way of doing it. You know, it's just outputs as a single linear line here, but they jump around. So this is much more sophisticated because it's jumping to 4, and then some parts are going down, but other parts are going right the way down to the result, and other ones are jumping around all over the place. So this one goes to question 3, but it all works. And this little one here was done using AI. Okay. So all of these results here are from AI. So very simple in here. We just got these questions going in. And result page 3, it tells you in here. So if you follow this guide through, it should make it really easy for us to start to build this. Yeah, so Birdie's put in here, it's a challenge to create a topic to follow out. Well, your topic is, you're going to know what people ask you, aren't you? Kevin, do you want to pick this one up? Oh, Kevin's off. Yeah, you're going to know what you're doing. Like, for instance, like I teach ZBrush, for instance. So I want to ask someone, do you use ZBrush? Or do you want to look? Are you already a advanced user? Are you, or don't you use it at all? So straight away, I've started my channel. So at the end of that, I can then send them, if they don't use it, they're just beginning, I can send them to a result, which is to take my beginners course, which is actually free. It's a marketing funnel. So that's what I can do with them. Right? So I could send them from one funnel straight into another. With more advanced people, I can take them to the more advanced courses. So that's how you can work it out. So Birdie, your subject, you should be able to work out questions. Have you got any input on that, Kevin?
Yeah, I think this comes down to really understanding who your students are. Because remember, we do this from a course perspective. So the goal is for this type of survey funnel is we want to really take them. We don't really want to give them, it's not a lead magnet as such. We want to take them and probably make an offer to them of getting involved in a course. Now, it might be a free module of a course or whatever, but that's sort of the goal. So you have to back engineer it to make sure that you make the offer to the right people. So, for example, you need to understand, you need to ask, just like you would face to face. So, Birdie, for you, for example, if you were to meet someone for the first time and they said, Birdie, I'm really interested in your, I'll use my cat one as an example because it's easy. So someone comes up to me and goes, I'm really interested in your psychotic cat bathing course. I would have a set of questions that I would ask them to sort of pre-qualify them in person to make sure that that course was right for them. It's a bit like a sales page, right? But it's a broken down sales page in steps. Does that make sense? So, and that's what we're doing here. We're taking them through a broken down sales page, which is going, is this right for you? Yeah, next step. Is this right for you? Yeah, next step. Are you in this situation? Yes, next step. Is that really what you want to do? Yes, next step. This course is perfect for you because you've told me this, and this, which has led me to the conclusion that you actually need help to learn how to bathe your cat, right? Or ask them the question, is the first step yes, second step yes, third step no. Okay, well, maybe this course isn't right for you because you've told me no at this point, right? But would this course be helpful? So I'll ask you another question. If the answer's still no, maybe you don't actually need a course. Perhaps you need a lion tamer to get hold of your psychotic cat and do something else with it. And I can't help you do that, right? So if another way of thinking of it is think of it like taking them down a sales page funnel, right? You're asking them a series of questions, and at the end, you'll make the right offer if they've answered the questions in the right way. Make sense?
Yeah, that's good. Helpful. Yeah. You need to
Right. Now
think
we
about
can't
it
tell you
first.
what those questions are because you know how you pre-qualify people, right? But what I'd say is make it easy. So let me give you an example in my world, right outside of Zenler. So let me look at my 30-day blogging challenge that we offer for free. So if I was to do a survey funnel on this, my first question would be, do you know what blogging is? So if they say yes, that's great. Have you ever written a blog post before for your business? Yes or no? Yes. Next question. Did you get any leads from the blog post that you wrote? Yes or no? No. Next question. Would you like to learn how to be more effective at blogging for free? Yes. Here's my 30-day blogging challenge. Have it for free. Thank you very much. End of quiz. Right? So that's how it would work for me. Now, obviously, the branches off would take them down something else. So one of my questions might be, is 30 days too long for you to learn this? Would you like a shorter version to be able to accelerate your learning to do it faster? Yeah. So rather than delivering it in 30 days, you can buy a book. I've got an ebook here. You can just go through it all in one go. Is that something you'd like? Yes or no? So you've got to really work out from the start to the goal as to which way you're going. But you've got to also have other options from. And I think this is the end point. The results bit for me should never not have an email go out for it. Right, there should always be an email that goes out on the results page, even if that's look, really appreciate your time coming along, but I don't think I can help you here. Perhaps this resource would be useful for you, and send them somewhere helpful that maybe isn't necessarily your field, right? So I would send them for the psychotic cat training. I'd go and send them to a lion tamer, right? And say, I can't actually help you because your cat is absolutely bonkers, right? My course doesn't cover this, but this lion tamer might be able to sort you out, right? So I'm not
And it's a
ignoring
lion.
them. I'm sending them somewhere else that will be helpful, even if I can't help them, right? Remember what David said right at the beginning. This is about relationship building, right? This isn't about taking them down a linear path of how we want to answer it. It's about making them walk away, having used their time productively. And even if we can't help them with whatever it is they're looking for, we can at least guide them as to where to look next for help, right? Because to me, that's responsible, right? And they'll look back on you and go, you know what, actually, I don't need you right now, but my mate might need your course. And therefore, I'm going to get them to come through this because you're a really decent person, right?
Yeah, and
So,
remember also we had engagement right at the beginning. You know what are the benefits of using this? This is that engagement side, and it's like Kevin was mentioning. It's like we did the fitness one. If people are not ready for fitness, it doesn't mean that it ends there. The question, the actual end result was like, I understand it can be really daunting, but if you need guidance or help, feel free to talk to us. So you're showing caring. They might never do that, or they might come to you and they might tell you why they're not ready. Maybe they think that they're going to be on camera with everyone else. So you can maybe say that use demand courses that you've got instead. So you can really tailor it. And I think with this, and I'm sure you agree, Kevin, is a real good way to warm people up.
yeah,
You're really getting the answers from the data that you're given from them. It's like you said, like, do you want a 30-day shut? Is it too long? So they're putting in, they want 5 days. But suddenly your interpretation of what you think is a good time for your blogging challenge changes based on data, based on real data from people. So it's powerful in so many different ways.
yeah. And the thing is, sales 101, sales doesn't mean that you sell to the person that's directly in front of you. Sales means if you don't make a direct sale with someone, do you turn that person into an advocate, an affiliate, a recommender of your business? And if they walk away recognizing they don't need your service, that's fine. Will they remember that you've helped them out? And therefore, if they meet someone, they'll go, how many times have any of you gone, oh, I remember that firm, that was really helpful. I wanted to get this done or that done, or I wanted a gardener and they were a really helpful gardener, but I couldn't afford them at the time. But you know, if you need one, I know someone that can do it for you. Right? It all builds up over time, which is why nobody is ever a wasted conversation, even if it's they don't need you. Right? The sales
Yeah.
quiz should be way down your list of funnels.
Yeah. So I'm going to move on, Kevin.
Okay.
So let's get on with this and build this. So let's go. So I was sharing this screen with you. This is basically what we're going to do. So it's in and outs and all this stuff. Yeah. And that's what we're going to be producing today. So you're going to see inside here that we also, following on from this, we also have text generated for a results page as well. So we've got our results page, result vote 3, 2. So we've got 3 results. Result 1, awareness, setup, feature limitations, and design engagement. All of these are separate. Yeah. But I can use this copy actually on the actual result page itself, which is what I'm going to do. But once I get into it, you'll sort of understand where I'm coming from on this. So what I tend to do is I have this document open because then I can copy and paste these questions from Canva straight into Zenler. So I can go in and I can just grab these and I can copy them in. Yes, that's really quick. So I'm going to jump into the site now and I'm going to go to marketing funnels. Now I'm moving quite quickly, guys, but you know, you can pause the video later. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new funnel. So who's excited about this? We're going to move quite quickly on this. Kevin will field or stop me if I'm going too fast or he wants to add anything in there. So be honest, me, that's good. Right, we're going to do this. Right, create new funnel. Let's hope nothing goes wrong. We are live. So we're going to go in here. We're going to name it. Now down here, you're going to see survey funnels, and we've got a little 1-minute video there explaining it. But you guys have done this workshop, so you know. So we're going to choose this survey funnel and click next. So it's going to ask for a name. Now in this case, what I want to do is I want to call it something like, are you using communities for your business, or are you using Zenler? It's all about Zenler. Okay, so that's what I put, and simple text. Okay, so select a theme. Now, Rakesh told me there's going to be more themes dropped into here, by the way. I always, without any exception, always use the classic white theme with any of the marketing funnel types because it's simple and I highly customize it. So they have all these other ones. I never use them with the pop-ups and all this stuff going on and the text highlighted. It's just a real pain. I just start with a nice classic one. It's nice and simple and I do it. So that's my thing. So they will be putting more themes in there for you theme crazy people because I know you're there. I know you're there. So let's click finish and it's going to set this up. So it sets it all up, creates the funnel, and it will take us straight into edit survey. So we haven't got anything yet, but it starts us off with a couple of questions, right? So as a usual marketing funnel, you've got an overview, you've got funnel details, you've got funnel steps, okay? So funnel steps will be the result pages and the opt-in and the welcome, okay? We'll look at that in a minute. And we've got leads that are generated. So you click there, you can see the leads that have come through. You've got the automations, and this is an area we're going to look at as well. And of course, you can run the reports to see what your users have input as well. But we're going to be working mainly in the survey and the automations area. So all I'm going to do is click edit survey, and this is going to open up our survey. It's going to be pre-filled with a couple of questions. I'm going to get those questions and get rid of them literally straight away to get rid of the questions. So if you're new to this, this is the basic format. This is how it is. Get rid of a question, click in there, delete. So I've got another question here. I could just adjust it, but I'm going to delete it. I just want everything from scratch. So I've got my questions in here. So what you can do is I can add a group. So this is when I was telling you about groups, I can add a group. So if I added a group here, I'm going to set a group. If I click it, you're going to see on the right-hand side that I can name that group. So I could name this something like start, or as I'm going to put all the questions in from one, I just could have it as group. So I'm going to have it as main questions, but you can set this. So kind of main question group, okay? And you can set questions within a group. So I'm going to give you a quick example of this. So remember when you change the name here, and I do this all the time, go and hit save down the bottom. I'm in the way. Let me get, actually, do you know what? I'll turn myself off. There we go. So you can see save there. Make sure you hit save. Otherwise, it will go back. So I could set up another group here. And you're going to see that you can add questions into the groups, right? That's all you need to know. So if I want to change that, I might have this, and I might have this as cat group. You saw me doing this earlier. And then I click save, and I've got a cat group, and then I can add a question in there. And inside this group, I can add a question. Yeah, so you get the idea. Really easy with the groups, can make things easy. So if you're working with sets of questions, you might want to group them, right? Sometimes you don't need to. So you don't need to group things if you've got one question in there. Like set up a group for one question. Normally it's like for 2, 3, 4, 5 questions, right? Yeah, visually. So Scott has mentioned here, he loves groups. It makes it faster visually to join your branch links. Yeah, it does when you have a more complex system. But if you've got like almost a linear jump, it really can confuse the issue because we have questions 1 to 6 or whatever. So sometimes it's good for you, sometimes it isn't. If you want to get rid of those groups, you can click into those groups there and delete here on this side. So delete all questions as well. You don't have to delete the questions. So if you don't check that, then it will leave the questions and probably move them into the other group. So I'm going to say delete and turn it off. So that's my main question. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at my question. So my first one, let's zoom in on here. So what sort of question type would this one be? So you've got yes or no. So guys, question type.
What are the options, David?
Oh, yes, of course, you don't know what they are, do you? Right, here we go. There's the options. So we've got multiple choice, multiple response, true or false. True or false. Yeah, exactly. You're right. So you could use multiple choice as well and just have 2 yes or no. So, but true or false is easy. So I'm going to add the true or false. I'm going to jump in here. I'm going to paste that information in there. And notice you can put a description. So you can add a little description in here if you want to as well. Underneath it's a little bit smaller text. I don't think I need to with this. So I've got a yes and no option. Okay. So this is how you do it. Inside here, I can type in yes. I can type in no. That's my first question set up. So let's look at the second question. So if yes, how would you rate your experience? Now, what type do you think you'd use for this? So you've got 3. You've got excellent, average, and poor. Oh, someone's jumping in really quick. Hold on. Let's have a look. What do you think, guys? You could, Scott, for sure, but there's a better option. Okay, I'll tell you. It's scale. So with scale, we can say and we can set between these. So you don't have to have just 3. You can have a scale between the 2. Now, you could set this to 3. Yeah, actually, 5 is the minimum, but you can actually set this up. So it allows people to say, well, it's good. It's bad, but it's not so bad. It gives them more of a choice there. So this could be a good option for you. But yeah, you're right, Scott. You could use multiple choice as well. So I'm going to copy that question again in here. I copy that. So you see how quickly we're working our way through. I'm not worried about the branching, any of that stuff yet. I don't have to worry about that. Scott forgot about the scale. Yeah, but you were right. It just gives people, if you want more data, this is better for data. Yeah. So that's what we're looking at. So we've got here excellent, average, and poor. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to do it this way around. Let's over this side. We're going to put poor. I'll put average, but excellent. Okay. And I'm going to click save. Now, one other thing I forgot to do, I did this before, is in the options, right? You're doing a survey. So I think every question should be required. Otherwise, you're going to have people skip questions. So up here, and I'm going to mention this to Rakesh, I think by default, it should be required. but it turns it off. So if I turn that on and save it, this will be a required question. It means they have to do it before they move on. So just make sure that you're doing it inside here. You're hitting that required and you're saving it, right? So that's then a required question. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. We've got question 3. So question 3 is, if no, what prevented you from using it? Remember, this is branching. So they're going to click no. They're going to put no. So it will relate to it. It's not just saying if no. You probably word that better. So select all that apply. So which one are we going for? I know Scott's going to get this now. We've got that. So question 3. So I'm basically, can you see what I'm doing here? I'm not multiple responses here. So multiple choice would be pick 1, multiple responses 2. So all I'm thinking about is get my questions in here in the right question type. That's all. Don't start thinking, I got that question in there, it's got a branch to here, and I've got to make the design look nice because of all these things. By not thinking about it, I'm making my life really easy because I'm not actually thinking at all. I'm just taking this and I'm taking what I've produced and I'm going to put them in there. So let's go to this. Take all these, I'll put them in. This one here. Jump to one. So I've got 5 choices. And to add a new one, click add option and it adds another one in there. So for external platforms, and that's good. And I'm going to click required and save. And I take this and I usually use it in that area. Okay, so question 3 is done. So move on to question 4. You like is an open-ended. So what would I put for this? So this is open-ended. Basically, they can type in here, giving you a big clue. So these are the question types. Free text. Yeah, absolutely. So this is a free text question. You're going to see what it looks like. So play around. If you've never used lots of these questions in here, have a look and see what they do. So this allows them to type in here, and you've got a maximum character length. You can change this inside here. So we're going to take that, and we're going to take that, and it's an open-ended question. Then it says use this data to highlight strengths. So you can get this data from them in here. Make it required. Save it. So back in here, what improvements, and it was telling us this time, sometimes because I didn't use that prompt when I created this, if I'd have used that prompt I gave you guys, it would have given me the right choice in here straight away. So let's take that question 5. This is multiple. I'm gonna let them select one. So it's going to be multiple. I'll put in here, select one. Okay, jumping back here. But you can see how quickly you can build this out. No, we're just copy and pasting stuff in. It's not hard, you know, we're just going from the plan that we created. And that's why we were saying it's so important to have that plan written down. to actually go in and put all these questions in, and then to think about how you're going to branch it later is just getting yourself into a lot of trouble. So, number 5 here in C set. Okay, next one, question 6. So this is select all that apply. So it's going to be that selection. So why did you? 3. And I guarantee, like, when you're creating these, you're going to get the question type wrong. You're going to be like, oh, I should have done it as that. But that's all right. It's fine. You can delete it out. Just add a new question in there. Pass. And there's only 3 for that one. So this option here, I need to delete it out. It's option. So you've got that little dustbin and click there. Okay. So you can see I've deleted that one out. I'm going to make it required again. Click save it. So I've basically put all my questions in there. Yeah, Dean, I can send you this, the flow chart, but you basically created it when you had the 30 minutes. So you're creating something yourself. It's better than working to this. This is a little bit more complicated. Like I was saying, it's got groups and things. So I would, if I was you, just work with your own rather than this sort of complication. So what we've done is we've just taken the questions, we've chosen the right question type, and we've put them in here fairly quickly. We've got 6 questions in here. There's no branching at the moment. This is a linear survey. So I haven't turned on branching. And that's the thing, you can turn it on. So this is why we said you've got that existing feature of surveys in a linear flow, but you've also got this big button up here that says branching. See that big button? So that big button is the one that turns the branching on. So that's the one that we're going to click to start branching our stuff up. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to say, right, that's proceeding to question 2. So yes, question 2. Yes, to question 2. So I'm going to click the branching and it's going to say, are you sure you want to enable branching? That scares a lot of people. Some features may not be available with branching. Okay, there's a little thing here. Timer and randomized question settings will not apply even if enabled. Additionally, all questions will be mandatory. So it even puts the required in. But I didn't know that, to be honest. So it makes every question required, which is good. I mean, you don't have to turn it on. But I like visual cues. That's why I like to make sure I do it myself. So that's what happens if you turn it on to branching, all right? So make that decision. Do you want it as a linear or do you want it branching? The big thing, because once we turn the branching on, you can't turn it back off again. Setting. So let's click yes. And now things change. It's going to add a few things down here, but you're going to see in a minute. But it's brought up our little branching block. So we can start to put. So where we had in here, it said yes goes to question 2. All I'm going to do is tie it up. So I'm going to go to our question here, question 2. That's where it is. I'm going to look at this one. This goes to question 3. So question 2, question 3, that's linked up. Now I'm going to look for question 2 where it goes to. Question 2. Oh, I should have used, see, there you go. Should have used multiple choice. Mess that up. Okay. So Scott, I think you were right. Okay. But this is good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click save. Remember to click save. You've got the save button down there. So if you start hooking things up, click save. So inside here, I'm going to add a question in. I don't think I can change the type in here. No, I can't. So I need to add a question. Hit That one there. Copy this. So I want one. I want a single response. So response. Then click, get this. I'm going to drag it up. So this one. Don't worry, it says 3 there. That's for average. Excellent. I'm going to delete that one out. Scott, maybe you should. Okay. So click that. By default, I always turn that on. Click save. Okay, so I've done it. So now I can hook it up properly. So you see how things are different. It's a good, yeah, exactly. I like things to go wrong because you will go wrong, and when you go wrong, it's really good that you see. Don't panic. We're gonna get the right type. We're going to copy that text, put it in there, drag it to the right place. Remember, you can drag it. You can also drag things with multiple groups. We can drag these from one group to another. So it's good to know. So you've got drag and drop. So let's go back here now, and it should be sorted. So this will go to 4. So excellent will go to 4. Okay. So to get that panel to come up again, I'm just going to click the branching up there. And we're going to jump down. So is that yes? Sometimes things go wrong in here, so you need to double check. The yes goes to question 2. Let me just check. Okay, good. That's right. Okay, so this one now is going to go to the right areas. So excellent. I think it's out of order. So excellent goes to question 4. So excellent goes to question 4. Average goes to 5. Average to 5. And 4 goes to 6. Check. I'm going to save that now. And we're at the end. Wondering why it didn't show it. Okay. Good. Click back branching again. So I've gone the first level down. Now I need to go to question 3. So all I'm doing is just working my way through this. So lack of awareness goes to result page 1. So we're starting to get result pages. Now we haven't done any result pages, right? So this is really important. So we need to set up our result pages. We're not going to style them yet. We're just going to set them up. Now you might want to name your result pages. So if you're setting this up manually and you're writing your plan, you might have called it cat's result, for instance, or dog's result. This generated just saying result page 1 to 3. Okay. So I'm going to generate my results. So I'm going to close this down a second. Down here, you're going to see I've got a result page. And if I click it, this is a step in the funnel. Okay. I can change this. This is result page 1. I'm going to close that off. It opens as a new tab. I'm going to go in and I'm going to click edit because I want to change this. I'm going to call this result. Okay, we're not looking at design yet. We're just looking at functionality. So result 1, click save. And that should save down there. I'm going to add a new result. We're going to call this result 2. And don't worry about the content at the moment. We're just setting up the options for the result. This is the final thing that they go to once they finish the survey. And we've got 3 of them. So I'm going to set another one up here. These will then show us options in the branching. So then I'll be able to add them. So now I've got 3 results in here. Are you with me, guys? Great. Good. All right. Good. Okay. Oh, that's fantastic. Right. Okay. So I need to start adding to the results. So I'm on this page here and I want A on question 3 to go to results page 1. Right. Question 3, lack of awareness goes to result page 1. So branching, open this up. These are all good. 3, lack of awareness. That one here will go. I must have set it up as a. Oh, I think featured because that doesn't work. Let's have a look at this, right? This is really important. Some obviously ChatGPT sometimes doesn't think, right? So this is a classic case. Right, it's saying here, if no, what prevented you from using it? Then select all that apply. That's why I went for multiple choice, but that doesn't work, does it? Because if they click A and they click C, they can't go to result page 1 and 2 at the same time. So this is a classic case where ChatGPT can be wrong. All right. So I need to change this to one option. So I need to set up my question again. So that's all right. That's no problem. So I want to go in and I want to make sure it's on the right one. So question 3. To see, and this just tells you about what we were saying about how things can get complicated quickly. This is more of a complicated one, but knowing the types that you're using, the question types, quite an important thing as well. So that's the last one of there. Going there. That will be 3. So now I can go into the right place. So if I open 3 up again, you're going to see I've got these options. Whichever one is picked, got those options, which is how it should work. So it's select one, not all. Okay. So this is going to go to result page 1. So lack of awareness, result page 1. So you're going to see here we have results. So this is why we set them up. Result page 1. So lack of awareness, result 1. Complexity is result 1. Next one is page 2, limited features, result page 2. And something to tell you is if you add more groups, they appear in here. This is what Scott was saying. So if you have another group, it will appear in here and you can open it up. That makes it a bit easier for you. So poor design is going to go 3. And this one is save. Right, on to the next one. So we're now on these should all be saved. Got results in. Question 4. That's just freeform one we've got. So that's the freeform one. Where's that going to go? It's probably going to go next. So it's going to go to question 5. They haven't given us where it's going to go to. So this is going to drop straight onto question 5. So there's 2 ways of doing this. You can just leave it as next, which means it will just go to the next question. Okay. Or you can pick it. So if I want it to go to question 5 here, I can just select it in there. So really it's up to you. So the questions, and then I'll scroll down and choose 5. Okay. And click save to that. So you can keep the branches open and just remember to save them, because if you don't save them and you go out of this when you make a change, then you'll just lose those changes. So be careful about that when you're working your way through it. So now we're on to question 5, which is multiple choice down here. And we got better goes to result page 3. So better in face 3. Interactive goes to page 3. Going on in the chat, Kevin. Better in 2. So 2 and 2. Last one, this one. And this will go difficult, missing 1, 2, 3. So again, I should have had a single choice for that. Tell me. Apply, yeah. So when you're using all that apply, you're generally going to go to the next question because that's what it is, isn't it? It's like generally do. So I'm going to. And do you notice what I'm doing? I'm jumping back to the question because I'm going to delete this one out and I can just put them in here. Now these are real can save a lot of time when you're setting this stuff up. And back here. Get rid of that one. That one delete out. Good. Go back to branching. 3. So result 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. This is where I'm just double checking everything on this question. 3, 2, 2. 5. 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. First one. Question 3. Yes. I have now successfully branched up this. Yeah, we haven't looked, Milani, we haven't looked at that side of things yet. So this is now branched. This is now working for this. So it automatically, when you put it in branching mode, it said that it puts it required, but I always go and manually do it. I'm just a bit nutty like that. I just like the buttons to be blue, know that they're required. There. So that's good. That's all working. It's going to go to the correct result page. Remember, we haven't changed anything on the result page or the welcome page. So I'm going to now take the welcome page here and just change it. So I'm going to go into the welcome page. So let me do that again. Up the top, hit that welcome page. It'll open as a new tab. We're going to put in here and we're just going to put some information in. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I'm just going to put welcome to Community Survey. Now, right. And it's not a quiz, so I want to go over to, I've clicked the button, the little settings icon, go to setting there, and we'll just put something like jump in. Okay. We don't need to select anything else. That, and I'm going to get rid of that. Don't like that. By the way, guys, you can set up a completely brand new block if you wanted to, and you could take that button and you could send it to the right step in the funnel, just like you do with marketing funnels. All right. So that's done. And we haven't styled it much yet. I'm just going to click save in there. You're going to see that you get your SEO. I always tell people how important the SEO is. So you need to put your SEO in here, the title, the description, short description. If you've got an image, you can select that and have the image come up, and the keywords. Keywords are separated by a comma and then the next set of keywords. So in this case, I would put something like Zenler community, and then followed by Zenler as the community, something like that. Yeah, and you can put a few of them in there so that that picks up on there, and a short paragraph, and click done. All right, so I'm not going to go through that. Click save, and that is the welcome page done. So I need to go and do my result pages. So I'm skinning these really quickly, right? I'm not going to spend a lot of time on design. I just want the info in there. I'm not worrying about anything else. We created it without turning branching on. We turned branching on, and we just went through it methodically. Some of them were wrong. We had to correct. Absolutely fine. Now we're just going through the pages that are generated. That's the welcome page and the 3 result page. If I click this result page here, it's going to take me here, and I can have a look at my little sheet and see what results will be for one. So where is my result 1? Awareness. So here. So all I'm going to do, guys, because it's the page builder, right? Go in here and you can just select this. Take all this, and I'm just going to put it in here. The same text I'm going to use for the email. We don't need to spend a lot of time. So in here, this is something I need to talk to developers about. Set all these boxes. I believe that you should just have one, because a lot of you are not going to be these, so you have to go through this annoying step of just deleting these out each time. So it's something I need to say. I just prefer it to be nice and simple. So again, this is the page builder, so you can put any stuff you like in here, the same as you build your pages up. So I can put in there is Rakesh in here? Rakesh is in here. You might be seeing this. So let's go and take this. And so I'm going to leave it saying result page 1 so you can see. Yeah. And I'm not styling this particularly. You know, you can go through this and style it all, make it look nice, and put background images and things like that. But I'm just going to keep it very raw at the moment. Just something like that. The main thing is that you see it says result page 1. Right, now what I'm going to do, little hack here, right, pay attention to this. I've set this page up in the design I want, okay, let's say. Let me give it a nice image, background image. So I'm hitting that block there, that little settings icon. I'm just going to give it a nice Pixabay background image. So I'm going to go in here, we're going to call it, and we're going to type in community, and then it will connect to Pixabay, and I can grab one of these images, something like that, and I'll just insert without crop. Now this is a little top tip for you. Right, so that's going to put that nice background image in there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close that down, and I'm going to go into this code at the side. This works for free and pro and premium, right? If you're a pro and premium user, you can save the block and drag it in from blocks down here to custom blocks, and you can drag them in. But this works for free and pro and premium. So I'm going to click this little icon. Notice at the side, this comes out. See that? See that coming out? I'm going to click it. I'm going to go to something that looks horrible to you guys. You're going to go, no, I don't want to see that, but it's really easy. We're now going to click the control key and hold the control key and press A. We're going to press control, hold the control key, press C. We copied it. So now I'm going to click cancel to this because it's in there, and I'm going to click save. You're going to see, of course, is we can jump to the next page, result 2. There's 2 ways I can do this. I can jump to page result page here, or I can close this window down once I've saved it, and I can open it up from the survey. It opens as a tab. Here, result page 2, let's open this up. But this will open up. So rather than go through and delete all those little blocks that we did and set the background image, do the same, I'm just going to click this little icon from the side again. I'm going to select Control, hold the Control key, press A, delete that code out. Now press Control V and save it. There you go. I've pasted it in there. So now I can go to this and I can find the text for result page 2. Let's just call it result 2. There it is. So let's go that. Let's just take that title. And inside here, I'm going to take this in there. I'm going to click save. I don't know why you guys are talking about row 3, 1 column. Okay, so there we have result page 2. Now I've already, I've copied that text, so I need to make sure that I go in and copy the code again. Control A, copy, Control C, cancel that, save that. And this time I'm going to not do it from here. I'm just going to do it from here. So I'm going to jump straight into it from here. This will open up result page 3, which will have all the blocks in the standard format. So I've given it its own style here. Paste it in there, click save, jump back to here. Now I want to grab the title for result page number 3, which is this. Right, so are you clear about these result pages? These are the end result from the survey. These are the pages that people will be taken to based on their answers. So remember, in the survey itself, in here, we had those questions saying, number 6, if they answer this, it will go to result page 1. If they answer this, it'll go to result page 2. So the marketing funnel for branching surveys actually are funnel steps. They create funnel steps. When you add a new result in here, it creates a new funnel step. And I'll show you that now quickly. So if I come out of this, I'm going to save that. So that's result page 3 done. And let me just again and close that. Let's go back here and let's go back into the funnel and I'll show you those steps. So that's the edit survey that we were in just now where we set up all our survey. Let's go into funnel steps. Look in the funnel steps. You're going to see down here, result page 1, 2, and 3. It's created those steps directly from the survey. So those funnel steps are like you would normally do for your marketing funnels, where you can use the page builder, you can put videos in there, you can add PDFs, any of this sort of stuff. This is the final result where they go to. This is where we're targeting people. So they come into it and their result is 2. That copy, that page is specifically for them because they had those questions and it took them to result page 2. Okay, so you can check it in here. You can preview and see how it looks. There we go. That's result page 1. Result page 2 will have result page 2 there and result page 3. But by copying and pasting that design, I was able to quickly change those pages in fractions of a second. And I know that a lot of you guys would try and keep the same theme, but you would build it each time. And it might take you like maybe half an hour to build the next page because you haven't copied the code across. So that is a real time saver. Okay, so this is all set in here. We have it all set up. So now we need to just go in and test it. So we're in here again. I'm going to jump across to surveys and we're going to edit the survey. We can preview the funnel here as well. I know someone's having problems with this. So let's click preview. So in the preview, it says, welcome to community. Now I'm going to go through this really simple. So up there, this is the first page you see. That's what we edited in Page Builder. So if I want to make it look slightly different and add that image, I can add that image that we added, drag that out a bit. Right, click save. So now, when I click preview welcome page in here, when I click preview, it goes to this page, which is a button. When the button is clicked, it will jump to the first question. And that's when our branching happens. And that's when it shows the final result page. All right. So if I click preview, it's going to go to that welcome page. There it is there. If I click this, it's going to take me now into this survey. So it's going to take a little bit. It's going to load it up. And here we go. So question 1. So remember, question 1 was this. Have you used Zenler community? If we click that, it's going to give us a different result. If we click there, it's going to take us to question 2. And you can check that inside here. So it's kind of 1 takes me to question 2. So if I clicked no, it should take me to question 3. That's the idea. So I'm going to go back 1 and I'm going to click no. So there we go, question 3. So you're going to go through these and you're just going to cross check that it's. So I clicked something that's generated my report. Now that took me straight into the result page because of that. So if that happens to you, you can click out and then you can just click preview again and then work your way through. So this is how you do your first base test of how things are working. You check against the questions that you've got. Normally, I would have my Canva on the other screen so that I can actually see my design, and then I'm not flicking like I am here. I would have it on my other screen. Okay, so I'm just showing you this for clarity. So inside here, you would test that all this is working. You go through and make sure that they're going through to the right areas as you're going through. So question 2 prevented you from using it is taking you straight there. Now, this is the opt-in. So, and this page can be edited as well. There it is there, opt-in. The opt-in is the divider between the final results in your survey and the branching and the results. So the opt-in captures them as leads. Is that clear? Are you okay with that? Anybody not clear about that? Not clear. Right. So let me try and explain. So remember that someone comes into the welcome page. When they hit the welcome page, they then start answering the branching survey. Yeah. They go through this. When they click the last one, which takes them to one of the results, like this one here, for instance, takes you to result page 2. Before they get the result, you need to capture their email and name. And that is why this opt-in is between the results. It's like a shield. That's you. I mean, the whole point of this survey is to, in a marketing funnel, remember we're talking about marketing funnels, is to capture them as lead, isn't it? Yeah, do you agree with that? In a marketing funnel, when you set a survey, you're trying to capture them as leads. Do you agree with that, guys? Any of you not agree with it? Okay. So to capture them as leads, we've got to capture their email address, haven't we? So there has to be somewhere to capture that. And that's what this divider. We don't want to put it after a result, because if we put it after a result, they've already got the information. They've already got the value. If you put, for instance, a video or a PDF in here, they get it for free. And then if there was a next button, opt in, I don't need to opt in. I've already got the goodies. Oh, actually, do you know what? I'll go through the survey again because they haven't asked me for my name and my email, and I'll fill it out slightly differently because there might be more content I can grab for free. You don't want that at all. I mean, what we could do is we could actually send every result to one result. We could say you're on those pages. We could say you'll receive your valuable information in an email. I often do this. So you could do that as well. There's going to be more workshops on this, guys, but I want you to understand this barrier. So you have the welcome, then it goes straight into the questions, the branching part. Then before they get the valuable result page and emails, they go through an opt-in. And in that opt-in, they need to put in their email address. So I'm in here, and I need to put an email address to go to that next stage. So if I put something like this in here, let me just put a +5. Then if I click this, it's going to take me to the result page. Now, I'm not sure what questions I answered. So you need to, I actually got recapture. Now, I had a problem with this. So on your opt-in page, another little tip, click the opt-in page, get it open. And inside this opt-in page, I'm going to actually change this. Now, I tend to turn recapture off. If you put it invisible, it works. Okay. I'm going to turn it off. That way it's going to work for me. And click save. I had this problem before where it doesn't load. And so there we go. And by the way, you can customize this opt-in as well. Do quickly now. Background. Thank you for taking. Definitely want to change this survey. And you want to put your results are in. I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, hit save. Okay, so I'm going to run through this again. So I've got this set up, should all work. All right, so let's preview this again. Let's go to preview. I'm going to here. So I'm going into the welcome page. Now I'm going in to Lisa. It's better to send an email with the same results. It depends. Like if people put a fake email address and you've got valuable information on the result page, they're going to get it. And there will be people that will put fake. They'll put things like test@test.com. So on my policy on this is always send the thing of value out in an email. Just put a message on those results page. Your results that you've entered for the survey will be sent to you via email. And we're going to look at that in a minute. So let's click one of these and go through it. So you need to go through this. This is the testing phase. You go through it. I'm going to put something in here. Let's see if I can go. Oh, look, answer required. So I can't jump it. Go back. And you're going to see, we're going to start to refine things now because I don't want a back and forward arrow, but you guys might want this back and forwards. I don't like them, so I'm going to deactivate them. So, but I want you to see the difference. So, what do you like most about the community? But let's click next, and now we select the next one. So hopefully, I'm going to get to a result page in a minute, and I should be at one now. And here we go. So good. I've got this new one. Thank you for taking the survey. Your community results are in. So I'm now going to go slightly. Let's pick Scott. And let's put this in here. So just choose that and click this. So now this will take me to a result page based on those questions. So if I click this, it's now sent me to result page 3. So if I answer it differently, it will send me to result page 1 or page 2. Are you clear? So you now know what to do to set this up. So you need to go through, check those results are coming in, that the branching's going to the right place. But before we finish, we need to style this, but we're not going to do that yet. We're now going to set up our automations. So with each of the result pages that we set up, we can have a different email going out to them, right? So we're going to come into here and we're going to go back. Remember, the key to remember here is we have 3 results. If we had more, they will show. If we have less, they would show as well as 1 or 2. If we only had 2, it showed 2. If we had 6, it would show 6 results. Where will it show? In the email automations. So I'm about to show you that now. So that is our funnel all set up in there. We're going to jump back and we're going to go into our time. Good. We're going to go to our automations and you're going to see something very cool in here. You're going to see result email sequence. Result. So if we click and we go edit, what we can do is we can set it to do this. Now, this is what I do. If I have results coming in on an email, I don't think I need to send a welcome email out. Some people do, but it's like they'll get 2 emails because they're going to get one for the result, aren't they? And if you send one out as a welcome email, they're going to get one as a welcome email as well. It's a bit silly, isn't it? Might as well just have it all in one based on the result. So that's how I do it. So if I was you, I tend to get rid of this altogether. So I hit the dustbin. People are afraid to do this. It's like, I'm going to hit the dustbin for everything. All right. So I'm getting rid of it all. So inside here, we can delete. I don't know if you can delete. There we go. So I've deleted it all out. I'll even delete this out. Look, I'm going to delete it all out. Have you guys ever done that? I've got nothing in here at all. So I like to start from scratch so I know exactly what's going on. So that's just who I am. So now if we go in, add a rule, you've got two on subscribe. This is, you've used this before, haven't you guys? Kevin, I'm a rebel. So yeah, you've used this before on subscribe. You've used it in everything. Like on a course, someone subscribes from a course, a welcome email goes out, course complete, lesson completion. In your lives, you've got on subscribe, on register. Now you've got on survey result. This is the big one. So let's click on survey results. And inside here, we click here, you're going to see rule name. I'm going to call this result 1. And I'm going to choose the result page. So this is setting up the rule. So whatever's inside the rule will fire. Okay? So I think Scott was asking about tagging. I'm going to tell you about that in a second. In the result, I'm going to select in there. I'm going to select, because this is result 1. I'm going to select result 1. And I'm going to click save. Now this means anything I put in here, Scott, tag, see? Anything I put inside this part will fire if someone goes with result 1. So I can now go and set more rules up. So I'm going to go in here, set this one up. Let's go in here and put result 2, and making it really easy, just like clear labeling of stuff makes things really easy. I mean, I see people name things different things, and then when they go to things like automation to set up, they don't know what it is. So clear labeling and planning, which is what Kevin and I were talking about at the beginning, this is what helps. This is how it helps you. So I'm going to click save to that. And I haven't set any mails to go out in this. I'm going to do result 2. Remember, I work in a very linear way. So I do one thing at a time, but I do it into completion before I move on. That saves making any mistakes. So click save to that. Okay, so now if someone comes in on result 1, I want to send a mail. So I'm going to click send mail. So it's going to say in here, I'm going to go send mail for result 1. Okay, and then I'm going to go from subscription, leave it as it is, stuff down there. And then I put in here mail subject, result 1 info. There. And that is set up. Now I can go into here, I can grab that copy for result 1. There it is. Just copy that. I'm going to do this quick because I just need to show you. Put that in there. So that would be result page 1. Let's take and add personalization. So this is not a proper personalization tag. So I select it, go personalization, first name. Okay, that's a proper tag. And I've got a link in there. I want to change this text. So what I do, I know a lot of you have trouble with this, changing this text. And I want to show you a quick tip. What I do is I select everything. You can put the cursor in, press Control A, it selects everything. And what I do to get it to work properly and not have mixed characters and things like that is I go to size and I take it like down to 10. Okay? Then I go to the font and I choose a font I never in a million years would I use, like New York. Right now I'm going to select the fonts I want. Remember, everything is selected. I'm going to go to font size. I'm going to choose 18. I'm going to choose the font and I'm going to go to Arial. Okay. Now I've got something that is really nice in here. Sometimes it makes it bold. So just click that a couple of times and it will set it all. So now I can go into this and I can make that bold. If this is too big, which it definitely is, I just select this and I bring this down in size to what it needs to be. Sometimes if it does that, you need to select font in here, bring that down, so it's all a case of just playing around with it there. But now I've got this email. So another top tip, is we want that formatting and all that stuff looks good. You're going to put your logo in there probably, but you can use the code block. So again, I'm using the code block. Remember, I copied the code for the pages and put that in there. How do you turn that off? Recapture again. You go to the page settings and recaptures on in there. If you are getting people spam it, then you want to turn it on. But I generally find with these, they don't, because it's not actually, you manually have to put these into Google search results to get the pages to show. So you're generally sending people in there. But if you leave recapture on, put it in invisible, it should all work fine. It's not a Zenler problem. It's a recapture. They're really doesn't work with the visible version. So anyway, with this, because I've got this page set up, now if someone comes in and has result 1, as they go through the branching survey, this mail will send out to them because on survey result, and we picked result 1. Hold on, let me just need to save it. Save that. Oh yeah, good. And when you save it, it's going to say, do you want it live? I'm going to click yes. Apply to all leads. Remember, I've got one lead in there. I could click there, yes. It's only a test. It's only me as a test lead. So yes or no, it doesn't matter. If I click yes, it will send that mail out to me. All right, so that's in there. That's done. And what I want to do is I want to copy this code. So I'm going to go in here, see this little tag box here? I'm going to put the cursor somewhere. I'm going to press the control key. And what am I going to press? What's the other button? Control and A. Excellent. Yeah, Control A. So hold the control, press A, control, hold, press C. The Mac, I think it's Command. And we've copied it now. We copied this. Yeah, Command for Mac. Yes, Scott. Brilliant. So inside here now, I'm going to go to send mail. That's going to put a, hold on, I think I saved. Yeah, that's correct. So this was something that I thought guys had sorted out. This box keeps popping up. Honestly, even if you've saved it, the box pops up. I think they're going to be working on this probably on Monday if it's weekend. But if you get this box come up and you've saved it, don't worry about if you click yes or no. Just click yes all the time and it will be fine. But now I've got a new mail set up in there. I can go into this little box. I can press the Control and A or Command and A, delete the code out, press Control V to paste the code in, and there we go. We've got it in the same format. So that's a speedy technique to get that information in there. Now, for the sake of this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in the header line here. I would copy this in different for each. I'm going to put result 2 email. So let's just do that. And that's done. I'm going to click save and address. Notice you can have a different email address per send. Well, so you might have problems authenticated it by lead. And go, and I'm going to do the last one. Send mail here, select all, do it out. Back here, Alt 3, save that. And now what I have, this, you won't get that with that. It's just because we on Zenler, we stop people using at zenler.com. It comes up, throws an error in there. It's for people to stop the hacking back end. So this is result 3. So result 3, if they enter it, they'll go to result 3 page and they'll get this email, only this email. They won't get result 2 email or result 3 because this goes out based on result 2. This one goes out based on result 3 and this one goes out based on result 1. All right. Is that really clear? Oh, good. Brilliant. Oh, great. Don't feel embarrassed to put no, right? Helen, good. Yeah, so you think so. I think maybe a lot of you will go through the video, will you? Just like go over those points. But understand the principle. Understand that with the survey funnel, in the marketing funnels, in the branching funnels, you have that welcome page then you have your branching questions, then you have that fire, like a firewall of them putting in their opt-in details, which is name and email, and then it lets them to the result page. So what happens back end is when they start filling the questions, the Zenler database temporarily stores the data. When they get to the opt-in page and they put their name and email, it then assigns that data to them. That's how it works. So, and then it lets them go into that result. So it will fire off on result 1, 2, or 3 in this case. Yes, need to repeat. Yeah, exactly, Lisa. Just repeat it slowly. So that is it. That's now a working funnel for community, and that all works. It's got its own separate funnel steps. It's got automations that go out based on results, and that is how it works. So what I need to do now is I need to jump in and I need to make it look a little bit better. So I've got a nice little Canva template for you that I'm going to give you now. I'm just going to throw up my screen here. And we have a nice little Canva template. So I've got a couple to give you. And this one here is the set size that you will use for the cover image. So it will be clear to you. So make sure this will be in, if you've signed up, have all of you signed up and come through the funnel that you've registered for this live? Oh, you have? Yes, Scott, I know you have. Birdie has. Yeah, Lisa. Okay. If you haven't, any of you, Kevin will probably put the link in. Because if you go, when we send the replay link out to you, it'll include all these assets, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. So this is the template that you're going to have access to. So what this is this is the right size for you. Like, I've just done some funny ones in there. You can basically put your stuff in there over the top of this. So we're going to give you this actual size is actually my magic number. So my magic number is, does any of you know? Oh, John knows. Okay, he was the first. John, reach out to me. We're going to send swag to you. And Scott, maybe Scott as well, because he's been helping out a lot in the group. So yeah, reach out to me and we'll send you some swag. That is my magic number. And the reason that's the magic number is it's exactly the right size for HD. So you can scale it up and down. Okay, it's the perfect size and it works with Zenler. Now I was playing around with this and it was doing funny things. It was because the way it crops in. So I have some things I want to show you. Notice that I've put my logo in the corner. Now, I talked to Rakesh and I said, inside the surveys and the quizzes, it'd be really good if we can put our logo in there. I'm sure you guys agree. So can there be an area that we can put a logo so it can appear above the questions so we can actually brand it? So there's a workaround to that until that's added. And I know Rakesh said, yes, it's a good idea. So hopefully he'll add it. I've put the logo in the top left. And the reason I've done that is because when you bring in the size of the survey, it crops from the right-hand side. So, and actually it's like a cover image. So it just crops it from the right-hand side. So that's why I've got this. So I'm going to give you this template link. Let me just copy the template link. That's what's good about being live. You get all this stuff and registering, you get all this stuff for free. So that is the size that you want. You can play around, add your own stuff in there to make it your own. I've already got this. I've already output this. I have one more file for the little thumbnail that you saw with cat, dog, hamster. This is the size that I use. So I thought I'd give you this square one. So you know where you can in the question types you can choose images. This is a good size for it. It's square. It's how it wants it. So you might want to use this as well. So I'll give you that as well. Another template link for you. And let's put that in there. You've got both of those. These will go into the recordings as well. So let's go and style up our survey then. So we've done our questions. We've set up our welcome page. We've done our result page. We've formatted our option page. But what about this? This is really boring, right? So we want to make it look nice. So it doesn't matter which of the questions we select. You're going to see this little palette here. If we click that, it's going to open up a theme on the right-hand side. This will allow us to change colors, button colors, these things. So I'm going to change this color to maybe this kind of purpley pinky color here. Okay. And I'm going to leave the rest button text white on top of that purple. So button text, that's the button. The button text white on top of that will look nice. Background color. So in the background color, I could change the background color. I'm going to keep it white. Okay. So like that. Now, we also have background image, and this is why I gave you that link to Canva. So I'm now going to click this little image, and I'm going to upload an image, and I've got it here. It's the one I exported out, the one you looked at just a minute ago. I'm going to click open, and I'm going to click in here. You can scroll to zoom it. If you've got a middle mouse button, you can scroll it. I don't do that. I leave it fully out. This is what you're going to get. So I click crop. Watch what happens now to this. You got this lovely thing going in over the top. So of course I could take these figures and I could make them a bit more transparent so that the questions show up better, but it still looks good. So I want to go through some of the options. So this is like the branding option, and you need to make sure that you click save in this thing here for it to take effect. Let's click save. Now you're going to notice that every question is going to have that branding in. See that? Like magic. Right, let's do some other stuff with it. So if we want to go, we can change it here. Let's go to survey settings, and you're going to notice you've got general. So this is navigation buttons, auto advanced, randomized question. Now we've got branching, we can't turn on randomized questions. So that's going to be, even if you turn it on, it's not going to work. Under the theme here, we have these themes, and you're going to notice that this is the active theme that you've got. And you've also got languages. So this is really good for you guys that are not English. If you want your finish button, your back button to be in a different language, you can put it in here. And also the preloader text, analyzing your responses, generating your report. So you translate these into there. Why didn't the button color change? What button color? Oh, here, because we're not in the survey yet. You'll see it in a minute, Lisa. Don't worry. So let's put in here completed. Let's put jump back. Let's put jump forwards. I'm going to leave the rest in there. I'm going to click save. And now you're going to see, Lisa, when we do our preview, this is why I leave this stuff. I make sure it works first, and then I leave the styling to last. If you go in here now, this button you would change inside the page editor to the color, yeah? It's going to change colors when we jump into the survey. So let's see, it's going to change to that purpley color. There it is, that jump forwards. So if I try and answer that, need to answer it. If I click this, jump forward there, jump back. See, so it's changed it. So back in here again, under the theme, we can edit the theme in here. Remember, survey settings, theme, edit. And we can also change some other things. So we can make this bigger, we can make it medium. We can change the font type. So if you want to change it to another font type, you can change it in here. So it works with your branding side here. I want to choose something. Okay, so you can change it in there. That's good. And make it bigger. So all the time you're saving this, you need to make sure when you make changes in here that you click save. So now we have a completely cool looking thing, and I would probably use this image on the backgrounds as well. So I will go into something like the welcome page, and I might not use that big image that we've got there. I might just go in and swap that out for the image that I've got here. And I don't want to include the Zenler logo. That's why I'm snipping it. Drop and save. I've got that. Save. And you can apply that same image to the result pages as well, right? You get the idea. So let's now have a look, and I want to show you what happens to the background cover image when you close things down. So I'm going to preview this. We're going to jump into it, and when it jumps in, we're going to start to close this down. And what you're going to see is that this cover image, this side with this arrow, it's going to drag in from there. So I'm going to do this like this. You notice what's happening here? So this is kind of mobile now, like this. As I drag it out, it's revealing more to the right hand side. That's why I put the logo on the left. Yeah, is that clear? That's why I've done it. So if you guys are thinking, I want it on the right hand side, you can't do that because it cuts in from that side. It might be something they change. I think when we have the ability to drop our logos in there straight into the quiz, then it doesn't really matter because it's just a background image. So that is how that is all set up. So I don't think I've got anything else to say. Is final thing is to test it all. So you want to go in to incognito and test all this stuff. So let's go and press Control C, and I'm going to go to here. We can go in the funnel steps to test it. We test it from here. I just want to show you that you have the option to jump to the funnel steps, and I can just copy that, copy that there. I can go into new incognito window, and then I can paste that in there. And now I am just a new user. I'm seeing this as someone coming in. They jump in, and then you want to test this, and you want to send it to a test email and make sure that you're receiving this. You've got this stuff here, boards, that stuff going on. So guys, that is that. So one last thing, I need to show you that the same slightly different things happen to branching in courses and quizzes. Right, so let's have a look at some questions. Do you want to add anything to this, Kevin? I know it's been a long session, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm here. There are a couple of things I just wanted to highlight. So if you can go back to the questions where we had the questions in.
Of course.
And you sort of brought it up inadvertently, but I don't think we just need to explain it because it does come down to the planning part. So if you had a new question in, and we saw this as a really good example, where David tried to add a multi answer question. Now, this does happen on a couple of them. So, for example, if you go to add a multi-answer question in, or you add a sliding scale in, or you add a star rating in, it looks different when you try and branch it because you can't choose two options and the branching options come up like it would on a single answer. Yeah.
Mhm.
So what it does is if you can add one in, David, just to show us. So when you add a multi question one, a multi answer one in, and we try and branch it, it'll only give us certain pathways that we can go down, which we can either go to next result or next result of the question.
Yeah.
So we can't base. So if there's five, if you put up six options and choose one and two, three and four, five and six, you can't separate them out based on they've chosen one and two, go here, three and four, go here, five and six, go there. It's literally when they've answered that, it's either you carry on to the next one or you go to the results page or you go to another question,
Yeah.
right? And this is really important when you're planning because on
Yeah.
the single answer one, if you've got five different answers, you can choose five different pathways from to go down.
Yeah, because it's multiple choice. But I think, this is what I like doing live workshops, especially with new features. It's something that we're going to be doing a lot of now, guys, when we have a new feature. But it really brings things to the forefront. So I'm going to already suggest to Rakesh that we should be able to branch based on different scales and for different ratings because I
100%.
think it would be good.
And we really should because if someone's got if it was like a knowledge question, how knowledgeable are you on this? Rate it between 1 and 10 stars, right?
Yeah,
You should be able to take them somewhere, but at the moment you can't. So that
yeah,
does make a difference when you're planning out your questions in here as to what type you ask. So be
yeah, and I
careful
think
with those
it's
ones.
really important because it like if people are a beginner level or something, you want to take them on a different path, not like just how good this is, and then
Correct.
they just select and go on to the next one. So, like we said, we add things to it all the time, and these kind of lives that we do, they bring things up, don't they, Kevin?
Yeah, they do. But I just wanted people to be aware of that's what that is. The second thing that came up in one of the comments was regarding the results and how do we handle the results. Now, someone said, well, can I get them to put their email in before they take the survey? The likelihood is if you ask for an email right at the beginning, they're not going to give it to you because they've seen no value at that point. Okay. The value is in getting the answer, not answering the questions. So all surveys are done the same way. You ask all the questions, put your email in, then we'll give you the result. Now, it's interesting because David was saying, well, he tends to give the result value in an email, and we can absolutely do it that way. We can also stage the result, so we can send them to a results page and go, right, here's part one of your result. We'll email you part two if you want. Yeah. So there's a couple of different ways that you can do that as well. So think as to what you would see more valuable. Now, I would see more value personally in getting them to open an email because it helps with your deliverability on emails. So if you're using the same email address sent from, the more people that open them, the better it is, right? It helps to build up that reputation of that email account. So I would tend to not just put all of the results on a result page. It doesn't make any sense. But you may want to, on the result page, say, look out for an email from this email account. Yeah, just so that they know if it's gone into spam or it's been filtered or whatever, they know that they've got to go and check it and just say, look, it'll be delivered within the next 5 minutes. Just go and have a check. Yeah. And then they'll open your email deliverability rates. If you're using the same email account for like normal broadcast emails and stuff like that, it should start to creep up a little bit. Yeah, it's not going to be a massive jump, but it will definitely help.
Yeah,
So yeah,
actually,
just a
Kevin,
couple of
we've
little
got
things.
Rakesh is on the Facebook group. I think he's saying good point to about the having branching off on different scales and things.
Yes.
So it's nice because it comes up these things, don't they?
It does, and you know what? Just like with communities, when we launched communities recently, just before Christmas, it's the first variation of these things, and this is a big update here that you're looking at, and this is the first variation of it. And what will happen, just like with communities, people will use it. We'll do things like these workshops, and we'll go, look, wouldn't it be great if we could do this? Um, it will be fed back to Rakesh and the development team, and if it's a viable extra, then it will be just like with communities. We'll start adding these bits in as extra little updates going through. The communities has had 7, 8, 9, 10 updates in the last 3 months with small features. And this I don't think will be far different. We'll use it, we'll see what we want, how it works, and all of that. And it will be fed back. And if it's a reasonably straightforward update to do, it will be done reasonably quickly. If it's a little bit longer, it will take a little bit longer. But it's always an improvement upon. It's never this is completely finished forever. So, but it does make a difference when you're planning to know with the different types of questions what options you have on the answers for it. So that's why I was bringing that
Yeah,
point up. And
and
I
and I think
spotted
that
those three. I don't know if it works on any more or not. I didn't check.
no, with the image selection, you can select one, so then you can take them off in different directions.
Yeah,
But that's why I was stressing the importance of going through them, check they work
yeah,
as you see them. Because it's really important that you go through that testing phase and you get familiar with the question, so you can say without looking in the platform that you've got scale in their ratings, these things, multiple choice or multiple responses, so that you know those options that you've got and that you've tested them.
yeah,
So I'm sure, like guys, like Rakesh is here. Rakesh loves feedback. So if you're going through this and you find something you think, oh, this could be good, or oh, this is great, I didn't know you could do this, put that feedback on the group. Tell us about it. Tell us what you're doing with surveys, how you're using it, because there's amazing things that you can do. So yeah, I've got
one
a
last.
last bit to finish, Kevin, because I
Can I
need to
ask
show
one more
people that.
last thing
Yeah, of
before
course.
before you wrap up on this? The results and notifications. So somebody goes through your survey. Obviously, people need to be notified. and they need to see, well, what did they fill out during that survey?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that can be done, set up in, and I've not done this, so I don't know. I'm assuming it's set up in the email automations. We can do a notify email.
You got, I think there's a notify email to know if someone's filled it up, but we've got reports as well. I know Scott was asking about that.
Yeah. Does it
And
go directly
underneath,
into reports? It should do, shouldn't
yeah,
it?
it does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But it's slightly different. So yeah, you've got to notify. So let me carry on. Let me just finish this bit off
Okay.
because I now need to show you the quiz and the surveys, and it's the final bit. There's slight differences with those, but I can basically explain them to you. So let's have a look now. Right. So inside of these, you also have notify. So you can send out a notification in here if someone sends it. So if I've got a user in here, personalization, so I have the first name, this will give me the first name of the person that's just submitted the file. And you can say the funnel name as well if you want to. So you get an automation of everything that's going through. And then if someone fills this in, you're going to receive that as a notify email, and also they're going to receive it as well. So that's one thing out of the way. So let's move on now to where you'll see your results for your survey. So inside the surveys, you have report here. You're going to notice you can also access it via up here as well. Zenler always gives you like 2 ways to get to something, which is really cool. So I'm going to not save this because I don't want that, but I'm going to jump into reports. So I don't think it's loaded any reports yet, but you're going to see under your reports, under quizzes and survey, we now have funnel. So you can select the funnel that you've got. So what's your favorite animal or those things? And inside here, what's your favorite animal? And then we can run a report on it. And then that will give us the percentages of people that have picked going through this. So we can see their results or if they've skipped questions or those sort of things. So that's how you can do it. You can also export that out as a CSV format, and you can check the attendee details as well. So if you've got attendee details in there, it's not showing them on mine because when I set mine up, it hadn't been fully launched. So they put it on here, and I was already in there, guys, messing it up. So if you go into these things, that's where your reports are going to be held. Okay. Again, if you find any problems with any of this stuff, you need to be reporting it. So you can see here we've got one. I filled it out once, so I've got one in there. And that obviously bypassed me and took me straight to result page 2. So none of the other responses, but that's where it's all held. You can export that data out and you can check the attendee records in there as well. So guys, that's how you do it in there. So now I need to show you, because time is cracking. I'm going to show you, I'm in a course now, and there's slight differences with the survey inside of the courses. Right. So if you've put a survey in a course, you've already captured them as students. Yeah, we agree with that. So you don't need to take their name or their email. So this means that in a course, they can start it straight away. So I've got a survey running in here. And if I go to our course curriculum page, I should be able to run it in here. So I've got the sort of training in here, and you're going to see that the survey will load in here. I've got a quiz as well. So this is a survey running in here. It's not going to ask me for my email name or anything else. And it's also not going to send me out any emails. You're going to hold the data, okay? So you can go through this and you can click to go through that survey. I think I clicked the wrong thing. I don't think it's connected, but the survey's in here. So you click it, you can go through it. And what you're going to see in the survey area, let's go back here, is you can make this compulsory. Oh, I thought this was really cool because if you've got a survey, you can force people to complete the survey before they can move through the course. So, like assignments, is a good way to control that data going through. So, in quizzes, this is even more important because in quizzes, you can still grade them. So, unless they're passing a certain grade, you can stop them from moving on. So, what you need to know with the surveys, because I'm going to go and edit this now, is you're going to notice that there's no result page. There's no steps because the result is held inside the survey. This is the difference. So this survey here that I've got, you can see there's steps here. I've done groups. So this is a survey asking people to select, and this is where I use those images. So that image size that I sent you in Canva, this is the size of them. So if they select thin, they go to a thin group. If they select average, they go to an average group. The questions are the same, but they're just tailored for each of the different sizes. So large would go to large group. Now down here, the results are not steps. This is the big difference. You've got no opt-in, and you've got the results in the survey. So if I click this, this is my results in survey. So you can see here that you can tailor this. So what I've got here is if people pick this, they can jump to the training that is suitable for them. So I've got a CTA turned on here, and I can put a link straight in there, and I can put text. And I can turn that off and on. So you could just have it as information if you wanted to. It doesn't have to be a link. So if you see I jump to this one, you can see that this is for average physique. This is for large, this is for large physique here, and this goes to a large training. So you could split people off all internally. So these links in here actually go off to different sections within the course, but I'm not going to go into that. Basically, you can see the difference. So the difference with course branching surveys, and it's the same, everything's the same as you saw earlier, guys. You know, you can see that all the same results, and the difference is you haven't got a page step. So you haven't got to go into page builder. You can build it all within the survey. That's the difference with the branching surveys inside courses. You're going to see you still got a welcome page here, but even the welcome page is controlled and is inside here. Yeah. So it makes it easier, doesn't it? So if you've got them in a course, they're already in there, but you want to send them through a survey, you can do this inside here. So with that said, let's jump now into the quiz. So if I jump now to the quiz section, we have the same in here. And I really, you should play around with all the different options that you have in here, like the back and forward buttons, and if you want them on or you want them off, this kind of thing. So this is the diet quiz here. So if I click this one and edit it, this has got branching as well. Quizzes. If I click branching, you're going to see I've got branching for a quiz. And if you go into quiz settings, I can set a passing grade and all of those things inside there as well. So you can also set the theme up in there, which we did before. And again, you've got that welcome page that's built into it. And you've got a thank you page. That's a thank you page there, and a results page there. So you've got the results showing as well, okay, across here. So that's how that works. So pretty easy. So I think the next thing that's happening, and Rakesh, I know, is on the Facebook group. I don't know if he's still watching, but he did talk about quizzes going into marketing funnels. So I think it will follow the same logic as we've got for the surveys. I think it will be the same thing. So that is it. What do you think about those? Pretty easy to use. So you don't have to learn extra stuff. It's like when you do your quizzes or you do your surveys in marketing funnels or in courses, it's all the same. Yeah. And that, I think, is it. And I thought we were going to run. We finished it in just over 3 hours.
Well done, David.
So we got a Q&A. We got the Q&A session. So should we open the cameras up, Kevin?
Yeah, why not?
Just focus. All right. So if you guys want to come in and ask a question, open up things.
Do the quizzes and surveys work in communities?
In what way? Community is a completely different thing to the.
So like we can have a quiz or a survey in a course. Can we have a quiz or a survey in a community?
Not directly in this, but we can link to it.
Yeah, but we can't.
We can't. It's not like widget code. We can add.
Good question, though.
Yeah, I'm sure these. I mean, it's different. The thing is, it's a different side of it. It's like You know, it's like if you're running a live or you've got a course, generally in the community, you'd post a link. People can just go in and buy that course. Like to make it actually in there, maybe Rakesh is thinking about that. Rakesh is more interested in you being able to live stream into a community. You know, that's the big one.
Yeah. I think it'd be quite cool though to have that in a community, to be able to put a quiz in there, like directly into it.
Yeah, maybe. Hmm, yeah. Well, we've got our workshop coming up on community, haven't we, Kevin? So we're going to be showing some
Yeah.
cool things then.
Yep. So lots of
Anyone got any questions?
possibilities. There is another question
Questions?
coming. Can a branching survey be added to an existing funnel?
Hmm.
That's from
Oh,
Geraldine. So do you mean you've already got a lead funnel or a video funnel going, Geraldine? Is that what you mean? And you want to add
you
it
want,
into that?
you want to alter it? Yeah, I think that's. I've got some old ones here. I'll just check. Don't think no, because remember when you had the options when you went in? This is a brand new option. So when you went in, they had the option of a lead magnet or a video series funnel. And now
Yep.
we've got this branching survey. So no.
Yes. Several funnels running that I create Google surveys and link. No, Geraldine, you'll have to rebuild those using the new survey funnel.
Yeah, you'll have to Geraldine. But it's really quick. I mean, if they're not too, you know, if you're going to have them in a linear series, so you can just copy and paste those questions straight across. It won't take you that long.
Milani's got a question. Who do we contact if we are having issues? I followed all the steps, but every time I turn on branching with questions that are media images, the preview and live don't work. They skip the survey step and go straight to the opt-in page.
Did you double check, but you'll need to send an email. If you have any of this stuff, send an email to support@zenler.com. I'll put it in there,
Yeah,
Milani,
go.
but you might find it's something you've done if you've changed. Did you notice when I made two mistakes on those questions that I created a new question, I dragged it, and then it kind of messes up the order of the branching. So you need to be really careful. So you might have messed up the order of the branching, and it might be branching to a result page. You might need to double check it. Definitely do a refresh on your browser as well, F5.
Yeah, I think go through the basics of, go into sort your browser out, make sure you're in Chrome as well. That always helps. Um,
Yeah,
things like that. If you go over to the support page that we've got, it just gives you a quick little checklist to go through if you've never been through it before, just to make sure that your tech setup's correct. Because it sounds silly, but it does actually make a difference. And it could just be something as simple as that, just clearing your cookies and your cache, and then just redoing it, rebooting Zenler up, and that might help. Logging out, logging in, etc. Silly things like that. If it still doesn't work, and of course, sometimes things don't always work. It is a big new feature. Sometimes stuff does go wrong. Support@zenler.com. Someone said support@zenler.com doesn't work. Um,
or our email address. No, it does.
Apparently. Um,
Or you can support a ticket, put a ticket in.
yeah,
So
or put a ticket
I'll
in.
put it in the chat. It's actually all the stuff that we've got is on our tutorials site. I don't think people realise, but we've got tons of really good stuff on there. So if you go to our tutorial site, you can actually see all this stuff. Let me just share my screen quickly, just so you can see. So this is our tutorials.newzenler.com site, and down the bottom we have a ton of extra resources. So things like showcase site, things like partners. This is partner packs, education support hubs. We have feedback and technical support. If you click the technical support, it's going to take you to our ticket system, so you can actually submit a ticket here. So that's somewhere that you should look as well. We've got a ton of other resources on the tutorial site. People seem to think that it's just for us putting courses on. And I know a question came in from John, I think it was John on the Facebook group, saying about how this would be good as a course. But all of our funnels go into courses, including the tour of Zenler, which was a massive 11 sessions. The community one that Kevin's running is 12 sessions. All of this will go onto our tutorial site as courses at some point.
And I think off of the back of this, there'll probably be extra support sessions that go on with this. So I'm already thinking that maybe a planning workshop would be really good, just to help people really get super clear on the planning side. Because if you, I said right at the beginning, if you don't get that right, it's not going to work for you. And knowing the restrictions of the different types of questions you can ask does come into the planning stage. So you've got to be super clear on that. And I know we went through it quite quickly, but you might want to ask more than 2 or 3 questions and have different outcomes. And it can get complex. And it's like anything. It's that little bit of practice with a little bit of guidance. Just hashing those things out and ironing it out to sort out your process. Because remember, with surveys and quizzes, it's often the you don't just normally have one. You might have a few of these running, because they are lead generators, or they can become sales funnels as well, and everything in between, feedback funnels, whatever you want to call them, and all of the things in between. So you may end up having 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 of these running at any point, um, you know, to get what you're looking for from it. And therefore, you've got to become really familiar in your process, familiar in going in and going into the reporting area. Who goes into the reports every month? I bet not many people, but it's actually quite a critical part of the system to understand what's happening with not only everyone looks at the sales side of things, but are we going into the report area looking at the other things that are going on within your sites? Are people completing courses? Are they going into this? Are they enrolling in that? Or we're just going, oh wow, they've paid us some money, let's forget about it. So, but they're really important, especially for the surveys and the quizzes, to be able to see that information. So, yeah, I think that'll be definitely another little mini workshop that's run on the planning side of it.
Yeah, and it's data, isn't it? This is probably the first time that we're collecting a lot of data on our users,
Mm.
because before people were tagging people uh, or using extra fields. But if you think about it, this survey is like a ton of extra fields on everything. It could almost be used. In fact, it could be used as a contact form, couldn't it? You know, there's like 100 different things we can do with this, and there is going to be more workshops on these for sure. It will be incorporated into things like the community workshop we got running. If we're doing page builder, those sort of things, we'll be talking about it as well. This is something that is not going away. This is massive. So, because it is 4 massive features all in one.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Francis put you could create a simple game style experience inside Zenler. Yeah, or you could use it for information. So, like I did one. I don't think I've got it now, but I did a survey where it was asking people what they eat. So if they eat fruit or carbohydrates, should you eat carbohydrates as part of your diet always? It was yes or no. So of course, it's if people put yes, then it sent them to a page that just had information telling them why that's wrong, and then a back button that went back to that question so they could then answer correctly and move forwards. So it was like creating a mini site, a mini information site, like you said. Yeah, you could definitely gamerize it for sure.
Yeah.
But that's it. So hopefully, have you enjoyed this, guys? Have you had fun? Have you learned something? Yeah. Oh, brilliant. So that's the main thing. So I'm going to do what I usually do, and I'm going to ask you, for you guys that haven't done it already, or even if you want to, when you don't have to do it immediately, but if you um, really like this massive update that we put in, and you're starting to use it, and it's starting to help you, consider putting a review on Trustpilot. So we do ask this all the time. I'm sorry, but it's such a big thing for us because Rakesh, the CEO, his goal is to get the most people reviewing review platform on the planet. And I'm trying to help, and so is Kevin with that mission. So we got our Zenler. I'm going to put that into the chat. We also might be saying once a month, we might be saying thank you to one lucky person. Now, remember, I can't say to you, here's money, do us a Trustpilot review, right? You can't do that, it breaks their terms. But what we can do is we can say thank you to one lucky winner. So that might happen, and we might do that every month to one of the winners to say thank you for putting such good reviews on there, and you'll be entered maybe into a draw for something, okay? But I'm not forcing you to do it, okay? You can do it if you want to. So I'll put the link in there and we'll see. That's it.
Right, I don't
So
think
that's
there's
it,
any more
guys.
questions. I think everyone's good.
I'm going to go and drink a gallon of honey now. I think Facebook's good as well.
I think so. I just looked on there. I can't see any more questions. Rakesh has
It's
answered.
on Facebook, yeah. Rakesh has been so busy on Facebook. Hasn't come in. Right, good. All right, guys. You happy? So are you going to do it? Can you also, like, as part of the homework, if you create your survey, take a screen grab of it, put it as a post on our Facebook group, and put a link to your funnel. So you've got a bit of advertising. We don't let people do this, but we do let them do it if they're taking part in our workshop. Okay. So if you want to put your link in there and a screenshot of what you've achieved by doing the workshop, that would be super cool. And we might even pick a winner. Fabulous.
You
All
never
right.
know. Might even go through them.
Yep. Yeah. 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 See if we can find anything. Also, remember, guys, I know I covered it really quickly, but if you are putting a link on the Facebook group with the URL to your branching funnel, make sure that you set up the SEO so it shows nicely. Yeah? Just so you know. All right, that's it. I'm finished. We're out of here. See you
Have a
later.
good
Have a
weekend,
good
everyone.
weekend. See you later. See you guys.